let's see here. Okay. And I think we are live. Yeah, let's see how the stream looks. It says excellent connection, everybody. And we're gonna bring ourselves in right now with some just patriotic anthem, non-copyright, of course. Well, it is. I mean, we don't want to be insensitive to.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Star Spangled Banner. Welcome everybody to the live stream. It's the 9/11 Super Stream, everyone. Everyone join. Spread the link around. Put it in the Reddits.
Time to get racist with Ben Avery.
Beautiful. And right out of the gate, Turd Ferguson comes in with the $5 super chat. Fried egg roll and a dog. Fried egg roll and a dog. We're rocking and rolling right now. Live on the phone. You don't know he's even here, but you will hear in a second. He's he's actually very funny too, but he's a great novelist. He's a professor. I would say, Aaron, would you say you are an historian?
No, but I love history.
Yeah, but I mean, you wrote All God's Children, which is a very good novel. I loved it. But
very sweet.
The research for that, for the Civil War, I mean, how many books did you read about it?
I don't know, about 250.
Yeah, so
wow.
This is I mean, he knows more than the average guy on a Lex Friedman podcast or whatever.
Yeah, we get it. You can read,
Yeah, some of us can't. So it's a little ableist of you, Aaron, to be going around bragging on Twitter all day that you can read books.
I know it. I'm trying to do better.
So people saying the stream is not good? It should be fine. I mean, we have a hardwired connection now. Is it lagging or lagging down the stream all the time? Are they saying it's lagging or is it good? Just hold on one second, Aaron.
It's fine. Take your time.
I mean, I don't. So guys, right now we have an internet speed. We have an upload speed of 10 megabytes per second upload speed, which should be more than enough for us to not be lagging. They said lag is crazy right now. Someone says I rewound 10 seconds and it's okay. Yep. I think maybe Devin started uploading something and it just went down. So let me text him.
Looks good on my phone.
Let me text him.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little laggy.
Yeah. Yeah, let me I just texted him. He'll get back to me in a second and then we'll retest, but God, if only the download speed could match the upload speed. But yeah, now we're hovering at like 3 or 4 megabytes per second, so it is lagging. Even though it's hardwired, we got it running straight into the modem.
I'm hardwired.
Oh, you are, buddy.
I want to run it straight into your modem.
Yeah, I think Devin just started uploading. So let's see if Spectrum is maybe the worst service I've ever used.
Dude, you got to get on Starlink, dude. Got to get on Musk.
Okay, it's starting to go. It looks like it's starting to get a little faster here. I'm still testing it. Devin is shutting off his uploads. Okay, we're back, folks. We're back. We're getting above 4. We're rising 7 megabytes per upload speed, megabits per second upload speed. Let's test it again. I got it straight into the modem, guys, so I don't want to hear any of the comments that that we are gay. There's a lot of people on the property here.
Yeah, pause it for like 10 seconds if you need to, too. I got it on my phone. It seems to be going pretty good.
Yep, if you guys, if we rewind it maybe a minute or whatever, fuck. Yeah, it's getting to at least 6 megabits per second now. It's so funny because right before we started testing right before we went live, it was around like 11 or 12, which was amazing.
That's around 6 or 9 or... Hold on real quick.
Yep, people just go rewind. Guys, just rewind 10 seconds and fuck. It's like barely hovering above 4 and I got it going straight in the modem. This is a huge bummer.
Oh, I mean, it'll be fine.
Okay, people are saying it seems better now. All right, so Aaron Gwynn is with us. We have him on the phone. I'm gonna pull up, Aaron. I'm gonna pull up your stuff right now and show it before we even go into this.
Cool.
Yeah, give him a little bit of a preface on who this is and
anybody who listens to Lemon Party knows who Aaron is. I'm gonna cut to his Twitter right here. You can see it. Everybody follow at American Gwyn. He's a novelist and professor. I love his first his Dog on the Cross. A great collection of short stories. Fantastic. I really related to it coming from a small town in Texas. He came from a small town in Oklahoma about 3 hours away. And what I love about that collection of short stories is the love Aaron has for his people and where he came from. So many people who grew up to become artists, they become so bitter and so judgmental of the people, the folks back home, but not Aaron. You write about it, people, long enough, you remove the chip in your heart. You dissolve the rocky callus. So it's beautiful what Aaron has done with his own life and his work. I really recommend All God's Children and Dog on the Cross. And Aaron also has a Blood Meridian Substack here I'm clicking on. Sign up for that. As he knows... You know more about Cormac McCarthy than anybody. I would wager that. I'd wager that. I mean, I haven't met anybody at the Whitliff, but I'd wager you do. And he's just a great follow. If you want to get into reading and you want great recommendations for books and just good tweets. So, Aaron, is there anything else you want me to plug before we get into it?
No, man, that's very kind. I really appreciate that.
Okay, so Aaron, of course, you saw on Lemon Party, me and Aaron have been talking on the phone this week about Hitler, and well, okay, so your background on Hitler, you're not like the protagonist in White Noise by Don DeLillo. You're not the head professor of Hitler studies in the Hitler department or whatever, but you are attracted to the man in a way that a lot of great intellectuals have been. You find him fascinating, and you've read many books about him. Is that correct?
I think the thing is I'm fascinated by World War II, and so if you're going to get into that, you have to know who the villain is, and Hitler's the villain.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, I don't know if you're aware of this, but. There's a little bit different narrative going around right now.
Yeah, I've heard that people are having difficulty. See, the fact that Hitler was the chief villain of World War II, they tend to hide that information in books, Ben.
Well, this is the Zionist perspective here.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people said, I don't know anything about World War II. I'm, I don't know this. I don't know that. I never went on the show and said I was Dan Carlin, but I just wanted to talk about Hitler. And, of course, they're throwing stones at me left and right. I just want to talk about Hitler. It's funny. It's funny to think about him. You know, especially when you're telling me he's down there in the bunker, and when he kills himself, he makes all of his dogs take cyanide tablets.
Yeah, he gave his freaking dog, his German Shepherd, cyanide.
It's messed up.
So
What kind of maniac does that?
So yeah, people are saying I'm way off. Aaron, I gotta say, I hold you responsible because all of my information about Hitler and World War II I got from you. So you pointed me toward the interview with Tucker Carlson and this guy, forget his name, the guy who said Daryl Cooper. What did you think of that interview?
I thought it was awful. I thought it was deeply ignorant. I thought it was purposefully provocative, just to get eyes and attention. It's not enough that he says that Churchill and not Hitler was the chief villain of World War II. That's bad enough. But then he says that the Holocaust was a, quote, accident, and the Nazis were just trying to deal with this refugee crisis.
Who said this?
This is a guy who went on Tucker Carlson about, I think it was 9 days ago, and he's really... And it split the lemonparty fan base, where a lot of them say, you know, I'm not hard enough on the JQ and this and that, and Winston Churchill actually was a really bad guy, which I wasn't aware of. I didn't know about the famine in India or whatever. I didn't know about that, Aaron. Is this true that he let 1 million people, little Indian babies, starve?
He didn't let 1 million Indian babies starve. I think, like, we all look at colonialism now, and we went... And more than that, I mean, there's real criticisms of the British and Churchill with regards to that. So I don't think that you can dismiss his helping save the Western world from Nazism.
I mean, the fact that his narrative is that Hitler felt like his back was against the wall, essentially, right?
Yeah,
and he was forced to do this.
His back was so against the wall that in the late 1930s, he invaded the Sudetenland, and then he invaded Austria, and then he signed non-aggression pacts and peace accords with England and the Soviet Union, and then he rolled the tanks into fucking Poland. That's how far his back was against the wall.
Well, and it seemed that everybody in his council was trying to kill him and stop him from doing all these things. There were 3 attempts on his life?
Yeah, before Operation Barbarossa, where he invaded the Soviet Union, his generals came to him and begged like a dog for him not to open up a second front, not to invade the Soviet Union, not to violate his own fucking non-aggression pact with Stalin. And he does it anyway.
So, I guess, do you understand where any of these people are coming from, or they don't understand the facts of the war?
Oh, I understand where they're coming from. They're stupid.
Is there any legitimacy to this? Well, you told me it's impossible to know the exact number, right?
That's not what I said. The best evidence will suggest that the number of... Oh, you mean the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Yeah, the best evidence says 6 million. And it's a very well documented war crime. I mean, massive scale crime. So it's... The Nazis left their fingerprints all over that. And we have the receipts from hell.
And you said Churchill was a badass. What was so badass about
Churchill? He was a total badass. Okay, here's the thing. This guy's he's the Prime Minister of Great Britain. During the Blitz, when the Nazis are bombing, particularly London, right? They asked Churchill, like, you know, we got to get you out of London. You're the Prime Minister. He said, no, fuck that. I'm staying in London. And then every day, while they were being bombed, he took a nap. How gangster is that?
Jeez.
You decide to take a nap while you're being bombed by the Nazis.
That's wild.
Beautiful. I mean, all I've known about him is that he kicks ass. I don't understand. Is there any? People say that he starved everybody, though. Is this true?
He didn't starve everyone. Didn't starve everyone. I think we can say, yeah, Britain's colonialist ambitions were wrong. And in America, we did a little thing called the American Revolution to push back on it.
Mhm.
And so did eventually India, so did other countries.
Yep.
To me, the good guys in World War II, the little I know about it, is Italy.
Gosh.
Because I like, first of all, I love a good spaghetti and meatball, and so I'm a little biased here. You know, I love breadsticks as much as the next guy.
I love accordion and mandolins together.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I love little tiny cigarettes.
Mhm.
I love big tits.
Mhm.
It's
Crepes.
It's a beautiful country, and I like that they don't have an allegiance to anybody unless they're winning. And
Yeah,
I go,
I love that
that's
we're
the
trying
good
to
guy because I identify with them the most.
I like that we're trying to straighten out the record on a Holocaust denier on a comedy podcast.
Well, people come to Lemon Party for the facts.
Well,
I know. It's just amazing. No, like Hitler was a Mussolini fanboy. Like he saw what was going on with Mussolini's Italy, and he was like, I got to get in on that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so much so that when Italy fell to the Allies because the Americans went into Italy first, right through North Africa, Hitler went down, or had his guys go down, and evacuated Mussolini to Berlin. But then was disappointed because he felt like Mussolini had been cucked.
Mhm.
He was cucked. He was a big.
He was very cucked.
He was a big cuck, big cuckold. Now,
Yeah, and then they hung his ass.
now I understand there's another element at play here, which is the country of Russia, where
Oh gosh.
where that guy Stalin is. But from what I understand, the Soviet Union helped them like invade. Did they help them invade Poland and then win against Germany?
So they had a non-aggression pact, and Hitler said that the Soviet Union could have parts of Poland, right? So they could carve it up between them. But then Hitler, of course, didn't share power with anyone. So we very quickly saw, if we want to continue to prosecute this war, we're going to need the Soviet Union's oil reserves, most of which were in Ukraine. So it was a mad dash to get to the oil. Of course, the invasion went, Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union, went all right at first, and then it hit a snag that's called wintertime. The tanks bogged down, the German shit didn't work, and the Soviet Union had this massive population, right? They began to roll tanks off the assembly line, not even painted, by the way. They were building tanks so quickly that the tanks would go out unpainted, just unpainted steel, right? So the Germans began to get their asses handed to them by the Soviet Union in the East. That's 1942.
And this is when everybody starts panicking, going, Hitler seems to be mentally unstable. He seems to...
That's right.
You says he has Alzheimer's, right?
Parkinson's.
Oh, he's Parkinson's.
Wow.
So this is interesting. So maybe Churchill was taking advantage of a sick man a little bit.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
It sounds like he's a mentally unwell man, and Churchill pounced at the opportunity, and he played him like a fiddle.
Right.
But then, you know...
This is ableism, you're saying. World War II is ableism.
It's unfortunate because, I thought everybody was loyal to the guy because he was such a, he was the ultimate evil. But apparently everybody, no one trusted him or liked him, really. And you wonder why his surgeon didn't put a little bit... his doctor that would administer the drugs every morning didn't put a little bit more morphine in him. Because that would have been the way to go rather than a bomb.
Yeah.
It sort of makes sense, though, right? There's a great book by Eric Larson called In the Garden of Beasts, and it's about the American ambassador to Berlin in the mid to late 30s. And so that guy kind of thought what you thought. He was like, well, the Nazis, they're doing all this stuff. They must all get along pretty well. And he ran in the social circles of that world, and Goebbels was having Himmler watched. Himmler was having Goering watched. Goering was having Bormann and Himmler.
It was like Goodfellas.
None of these. It was like Goodfellas. None of these people could stand each other.
And the most so far the most interesting story to me of World War II so far, you were blowing my mind the other day when you told me all about Rudolf Hess.
Yeah, that crazy dude. So yeah, Hitler shit the bed so badly with the entire strategy, right? That his right-hand man, the guy that he dictates Mein Kampf to in Landsberg prison in 1924, this guy steals a plane, right? Flies over the channel, parachutes out of his own fucking plane over Scotland in order to try to broker a back deal peace treaty with Great Britain and end the war. The British were like, LOL, right? And Hitler was apoplectic when he found out Hess had done this, right? And Hess would end up dying in a prison in the UK in like the 1970s. So he lived in a jail cell.
I heard Hitler like let out a great cry, like you could hear it throughout the castle or something,
Yes, that's right.
When he read the letter that was left behind by. I mean, it seems that Hitler was so very codependent with people and very controlling. And I mean, you told me that every woman he was romantically involved with either committed suicide or attempted suicide at some point.
That's correct, including his niece Gaily Rabel, right? Who he was her ward, her guardian.
Now, do you think this is coincidence?
No, a lot of people think there was something sexual between them, that he was abusing her, and then he came home and she had shot herself with one of Hitler's pistols. I think his Luger.
So,
and at that,
go ahead.
At that point, Hitler had a huge PR because he's trying. I mean, he's running for, he's trying to maintain or gain political power in Germany. And then, your niece, she kind of like Epstein's herself all of a sudden. Like, what's up with that? And so Hitler had a huge PR makeover, right? So he had this photographer take all these pictures of like with him with his dog and him with kids and like him having a picnic. And,
Hitler with a big lollipop and like a sailor's hat.
All of that, right?
Uh-huh.
And that book was published as The Hitler I Know, right? Which portrayed Adolf as a family man, which is hilarious since he didn't have a fucking family.
Yeah.
Did his sperm work? Well, yeah, he had kin, right? Or he had children, right?
Nope, no kids.
Oh, interesting. So these people that are related to Hitler, these are cousins of Hitler.
Yeah. They're Hitler's cousins.
That's funny. I guess there never was a little Hitler running around, and you think it could have brought a perspective.
A little Hitler until the 1990s in Abilene, Texas, when a young man named Benjamin.
Lubbock, Texas, mind you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So thankfully, we don't have to worry about killing baby Hitler because there was no baby Hitler.
Well, I'll say this: it feels like Hitler he had trouble with the ladies. He was down on his luck. Churchill saw this. He saw a man who had a broken heart and a broken mind
and a broken penis.
Now, is there any testament to on Tucker Carlson? He said that Winston Churchill denied the opportunity for a peace talk. Is this correct? Or am I fabricating that?
No. What he's referring to is Neville Chamberlain. Chamberlain, when he was prime minister, flew to Berlin. They cooked up this elaborate peace treaty. And Neville Chamberlain, Hitler promised not to, invade more shit. Right. And then Neville Chamberlain flies back to London and he's holding up the document. And, I've just signed the treaty that will assure peace in our time. And a few weeks later, Hitler invades Poland, which Great Britain is bound by treaty to protect. So Hitler starts World War II by invading Poland in 1939. And France declares war on Germany. Great Britain declares war on Germany. And Germany declares war on them both.
Yeah, they're being ganged up on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it is 700,000. I don't know. That's what the comments are saying.
gosh.
You know what? I wanted to say because there are some people, because I was talking to Ben on the way over here about, what are we doing? What are we doing here? With the talking about Hitler and whatnot. And he's like, apparently there's
a schism.
There's a schism at the Lemon Party. So you said earlier, you were like, there are receipts.
We need to ask questions.
That's what I'm saying.
I do believe in asking questions about stuff, as does Aaron.
So here's
he
what
doesn't
I'm
shut
saying.
down conversation.
So Aaron, if you had one of these people who were saying, it was only 12 Jews actually, and you're like, we got the receipts. What receipts would you point to with that? Because I know that there's of course, photographical evidence and things like that. But what would you point to for these folks?
Oh, for one thing, I would point to the plans for the Dachau prison camp. Like the Nazis built industrial scale extermination camps with special crematoriums, or crematoria, I guess it would be.
Yeah. Special
gas chambers, right? That we have all the paperwork on Zyklon B, the gas that would be used in the chambers. We know populations, family histories of European Jewish people.
Oh yeah,
who were completely wiped out.
A census would probably do a lot of the work too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about Germans, they take and keep meticulous records.
Yep.
No, they're very efficient.
Great cars. They got great cars over there.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I want to, I'll extend an olive branch. I went to camp as a kid.
Oh.
It wasn't, you swim in the lake. An adult corners you and it's strange. You don't know what's going on. It wasn't a bad time.
In junior high, it was kind of a trend amongst the boys to not shower. And it was like our own little gas chamber, in the bunkhouse.
Now, Aaron, you said that at the beginning they were just mowing down Jews with machine guns, and the soldiers were having psychotic breaks.
Yeah, that happened during the invasion of Poland, right? So they start executing the plans for the final solution. They haven't cottoned onto the gas chamber and annihilating people at the industrial scale. And so at first they would just collect all the Jewish people from whatever village. They would march them out to mass graves. And by the way, everywhere they went eventually to dig the graves, they started digging down and there were already mass graves.
Jesus.
Because when the Germans invaded Poland and these Eastern European countries, the first thing that happened is once the Polish government, or the governments of Slovakia, etc., disintegrated, the locals rounded up the local Jewish people and killed as many of them as they could.
Wild.
So they, the man on Tucker Carlson, he argues that that they were seeking a humane way to deal with this problem that they couldn't get rid of. Dude,
is there anything humane about machine gunning little old ladies and children and,
Well, does the Zyklon B, is that pretty humane? Is that like euthanasia?
Do you want to be? What kind of gas would you like to be exterminated with?
I think
Ben?
being killed is not. It's not humane to murder someone.
Is it like you're stripped naked? You're herded into a concrete room. A door closes behind you. Gas starts flooding in. People start dying. They start clawing their way toward the vents. The children are always on bottom because the children can't climb.
Mm-hmm.
And these people die in a massive heap. It's completely barbaric.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a little insane when you put it that way.
So on Tucker Carlson, this guy he was saying that it was justified, or what? I don't understand.
I'm not sure. Aaron, can you sum up his argument on that podcast? Because I watched it twice, and it seemed to be the man was ignoring factual records of events to me.
Yeah,
but I don't know anything about World War II.
No, I've looked into it carefully, and the thing is, he's a moron.
He's a provocateur, and he's leaning into some sort of shtick.
He's being provocative. He's just being provocative. Like, okay, so say that you characterize the Jewish people of Eastern Europe as, quote, refugees. Okay, if we take that, like, argument, they are refugees that you made. You, the Nazis, made. They went in, they ran over the country. Polish people, non-Jewish Polish people, started killing Jewish people. And then there's this population of Jewish people, which the humane thing to do is you grab them, you do experiments on them, you massacre them, you machine gun them, you put them in gas chambers and incinerate them. And by the way, steal all their wealth. Like anything that they could steal, the Nazis stole.
Now, could Churchill have done anything to help alleviate this or prevent this, bring that number down, or no?
That's a great question. And that I don't know. Churchill, until the U.S. enters the war in late 1941, like, had his hands full. Like, he was trying to prevent a German invasion of Great Britain. And the Germans were trying to do that. They were trying to figure out, okay, do we float an armada across the channel? So the first thing is they blitz London, right? They just bomb the shit out of London. But Churchill's Royal Air Force, those guys are fucking in the air doing work, right? They're shooting down German planes. They have a whole PSYOP program running. They're building like inflatable tanks in the countryside to trick the Nazi bombers into thinking, oh, we'll bomb the British armor. So there's like a whole thing going on there. So I don't know if Churchill, maybe he could have done more than he did.
I'm sure he has regrets or he thinks he made mistakes.
Well, sure.
But I mean, so does every mortal man.
So does anybody.
Besides our Lord and Savior, Jesus H. Christ.
That's right.
And he's on the phone with Roosevelt, right? You know, can you send us ships? Can you send us supplies? Can you send us ammunition? Can you send us oil? Can you send us flour? And Roosevelt is very reluctant to help in any way. And so he has to kind of divert the supplies through Canada because...
Is it because a lot of Americans support the Nazis, or why is that?
No, because Roosevelt realizes that if we begin sending supplies to Great Britain, we are committing military resources and we are entering the war.
Yeah.
And FDR didn't believe America was ready for that. But at the same time, he began to see we've got to get the American people ready because eventually they'll be over here. And then all this shit, all the planning and do we do this, all that flies out the window when Japan bombs Pearl Harbor in 1941.
Interesting. Well, Aaron, we all know history is written by the victors, right? Isn't that the saying?
That's correct.
So, you know, if the Germans get to tell their side of the story, which, you know, they never got to have any sort of narrative, right? They had to pay money to Israel up until somewhat recently, from what I understand.
Well, the Germans have told their side of the story. The best biographies of Hitler have been from German professors and writers.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep. Volker Ulrich, right, who's written the definitive 2-volume biography of Hitler, he's German.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So even the Germans don't dispute this. So, but then of course not. You have guys like I think is it David Icke?
I don't know him. Was he a Holocaust denier? One of those guys?
I'm not sure. I know he went on war mode. I don't know I know he's banned from a couple countries. I want to talk to War Mode too about all this stuff. I've been talking to. They're a great podcast, Billy and Spud. They're out in Holden Down, Pennsylvania.
Oh, hell
They go on Matt and Shane a lot. They're good guys. I talked to Billy here and there, and they've shouted out Lemon Party, which I greatly appreciate. They're hilarious guys. If you guys don't know the podcast War Mode, you should definitely listen to it. But I think they had him on, and I don't know what they talked about or whatever. I know War Mode has been accused of Holocaust stuff, but it's always by like Seth Simons types, these cucks, these people. Right. I have read things by, I believe his name is David Cole. Are you familiar with him?
No, I know David Allen Coe, but I don't know David Cole.
I believe his name is David Cole. If I'm, I could look it up. I have the internet right in front of me. Let me see here. But he. Basically, he's a Holocaust revisionist where he says...
Oh, gosh.
Well, his thing is, he says it's... I believe it's closer to like 4 million or something like that. Now, what is... these guys that have these points of contention, what is the reason for this?
Well, a lot of these people want to make a name for themselves, and the way you make a name for yourself right now in the world we live in is to say something really controversial.
Yeah.
Offer half facts and appeal to people who are brain dead.
Yeah, I was right. It's David Cole, born 1968. He's a film director, Holocaust denier. He is Jewish as well.
Other names,
and he lives in
L.A.
as well.
Other names, David Stein. It's pretty interesting that he knows that his fan base is so racist he can't even use his real name.
Wow. Oh, is that why you changed it?
Yeah,
I guess you're... Well, a lot of Jews in show business change their names for whatever reason, from, Jon Stewart to Stephen... Didn't Stephen Colbert do that as well?
A lot of people
or
in
the
show
pronunciation
business change
of
their
it.
names.
Yeah.
A lot of everybody changed their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just Jewish. I mean, Cormac McCarthy, wasn't his name Cornyn or some shit?
His name was Charles.
Oh, Charles. Yeah, that's right. And, but... You give no credence to these guys. You think they're solely seeking attention, and then people... I'd have to... Dude, I would love to look into this and talk to someone who's into something like this, but I have read articles from David Cole. I have not looked into anything by David Icke. And I don't know if... I think in America it's pronounced Ick, but in England it's pronounced Ike, because it's Icke. But, I mean, Aaron, I trust you. You've never led me astray when it comes to, I mean, you've told me many things about the Civil War that are wildly inaccurate. We've talked at length about stuff like that. Where there are mainstream narratives about historical events that are completely false, but the Holocaust is not one of them.
The Holocaust is not one of them. It's just not. Like, sorry, guys out there. Sorry to disappoint, apparently. But yes, the Holocaust is not a false narrative. We know it happened. We know it happened at the scale historians have talked about. And, like, the historians who lived through it, right? So we have, Schirer's book, William Shirer, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. He was a reporter in Berlin, right? Like, there are all these people that have front row seats. So to get on the David Cole train, you would have to William Shirer is wrong. All these people who were there are wrong. And I was born in 1968 and I'm right.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Well, even people who say that, people say Zionists love Hitler. Is that true? I don't even know what that means. That's a comment I've seen where they're like, why wouldn't Zionists love Hitler? Because then they can use that narrative as leverage to have...
Dude, once people start talking that way, right, once you've decided that there's this enemy, there's no direction you will not contort yourself in to make this weird narrative fit.
I mean, I believe that there are... religions and groups of people out there that are past help and I consider enemy of the world and humanity.
Yeah, here's another thing about the whole, the Nazis and, a lot of this shit is on film. You don't even have to read. The amount of war footage is kind of insane. Now, there isn't footage, obviously, of the concentration camps in Eastern Europe as it's happening, because the Nazis aren't going to document with video evidence their own crimes. And they knew if they were ever captured, they'd all be hanged, which is what happened to most of them. But but like the Allies who liberated the camps, right? There's another thing you have to think about. Think about, our grandfathers who liberated the camps in Eastern Europe and in Germany, and like all these people in horrible conditions. You have to discount the word of like thousands and thousands of our own troops who saw it with their own eyes.
This is, I will say, as a schoolboy, my whole understand, and this is the American education system. It's not. If you look at the scores, it's not really up to squat. And you are a professor as well. You've informed me of just some anecdotes where I've taken inventory of. I go, interesting. People go to. I'm actually not going to say anything because anyway. But regardless. I basically thought that we were the heroes of World War II. That America went in there and we kicked everybody's ass. And if it wasn't for America, Germany would have taken over the entire war. That was I knew nothing. I never learned anything about Russia. Slaughtering people and sacrificing millions of their own soldiers to stop him. I knew none of that. And so is that the American propaganda machine of like
Nope. It's accurate. I mean, that part, some things, here's the thing. If you believe that some narratives are false, or some narratives are partly or mostly false, then you've created a system of statistics, which also means that some narratives are true, some narratives are mostly true, et cetera, right? So there are some narratives that the storytellers get right. America was attacked in December of 1941, right? Japan declared war on us. Germany declared war on us. We declared war on both of them. And then we went to fucking work. Here's the thing. Here's one of my favorite anecdotes about World War II. And this is early in the war. So this is like 1943. Americans are coming up through Italy, starting their push, up from North Africa. Right? And there's an SS battalion that captures an American supply train. And all these like stormtroopers are like unloading, boxes that American families have sent their boys, right? So like these SS guys are like taking the, boxes and, cracking open the crates, and there's letters, there are cookies, there's cake, there's booze, there's all this stuff. And the Nazis are getting drunk and they're ramming cake into their mouth. And this whole time, this SS major was watching this happen.
Maybe I am
and
German, by the way. Continue.
Yeah. And he looked at all this happening and he said, "We're beaten." And his men stopped. And they're like, "What are you beaten? We have their cake. We have their hooch. We drank their milkshake." And the major said, "We can't get blankets and ammunition to our own troops from 50 kilometers away. And these people they can worry about whether their troops have fresh cake on Christmas from an ocean away. We are fucked."
Yeah.
Now, the other counterpart of this we haven't talked about yet is the great nation of Japan, an island of people that have a strong identity that I've always loved and agreed with. And, they don't hold it against us that we bombed them to shit. It is what it is. They don't bring it up around me, at least. Not when I'm hanging out at the 7-Eleven by my house.
How would that conversation go?
Well, they'd be like, a Japanese guy has never shook his fist at me. Usually, he serves me a nice little sushi roll, and he bows to me.
Yeah. Courteous.
There's a deep sense of shame, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the fuck China was doing in all this, but Japan took one look at Hitler, and they go, "I like what that guy's thinking."
I like the cut of his jib.
I mean, Japan seems to be an ethno state. It's like 98.5% Japanese, like 0.08% black or something like that.
Well, we have to realize this is a different Japan. This is an imperial Japan who believes their emperor is a living god. They're invading China. They're slaughtering the Chinese, who their army considered to be racially inferior to Japanese men.
The Unit 731 thing is harrowing.
It's incredible, right? And so the Japanese that we fought during World War II, That's a different mindset. That's an imperial expansionist mindset, quite different from the democracy that we've grown up with, that makes great tech and exports culture to the rest of the world. Right? It's very different.
And is it good that we've dropped nuclear weapons on them?
I don't think the nuclear weapons were a good idea. I don't think we should have dropped them.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting that from you. You're a man of war.
Yeah, there's proportionality should be a guideline in war. And what we did that was more devastating than the nuclear bombs, the 2 bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, were the incendiary bombs that we dropped on their cities, right? Those cities were wooden cities. They're made out of, almost everything in Japan was made out of wood, especially the residences, right? So when you drop an incendiary bomb, you start a firestorm. And in one night, we burned to death half of Tokyo. 49% of Tokyo was destroyed in one night.
Tempura.
Men, women, children, the whole deal, right? So Tokyo is roughly the size of New York City. Imagine half of New York City, half of those people being burned to death in one night. I know it gives you an erection, but imagine half of those people being burned to death in a single night. Like, that's carnage on an incredible scale. Now, we're fighting them, the kamikaze pilots. It is a messy, dirty war, right? So I think a lot of people believe the incendiary bombing of Japan would have broken them. After the nuclear bombing, you're opening up a whole new can of worms.
For anyone listening right now, by the way, people are asking who you are. This is Aaron Gwynn. Here's his Twitter. Great novelist and professor. And everybody sign up for his Substack right here. Damn, you got over 2,000 subs on here. Good Lord. You got a huge community going, huh?
It's fun, man. We're having a good time over there for people who are interested. We got some free shit. We got some paid shit. It's cheap if you're interested.
And you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, it's all about Cormac McCarthy. If you're into Cormac McCarthy, you've got a YouTube channel over there. Everything's free.
Well, Cormac is the really the interface you're using to talk about life and culture and art and writing and all sorts of other things.
I think that's right.
It's not just for Cormac fans. It's really interesting stuff. The deep dives you've done on the historical record of him and what he did and the worlds he created.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm aiming for. At least
I feel very lucky because I get the real thing because I call you on the phone and we talk extensively about these things, and you've molded a weak man into hard clay, and that I appreciate.
What do they say? As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another man's rod, or whatever the.
Well,
right.
I'd like to take a gander at your rod. I've never taken a flight down to Charlotte, but
there's nothing sacred.
I'm glad you keep me. I feel like you're a tether that keeps me, from floating off into space. Because Lord knows if I met the right person, I could be radicalized into almost anything.
Yeah.
As a man,
brother, I've been there.
But luckily, you go fill your head with Herman Melville, fill your head with James Joyce, fill your head with the King James version of the Bible. Realize that you have a culture.
That's right.
Realize that you have a history. Realize that you have ancestors. Realize that you can't run away from what you were born into, and these things have to be. Your past self needs to meet your present self, and you need to have a full and total understanding of who you are and where you came from, and let those stories, these great stories that we all love, to subconsciously live within you and to guide you.
I believe that's true. And by the way, people are going to shellac me in the comments. It's fine. I'm Scots-Irish. I've had relatives say meaner things to me on Christmas than anything these people could say. But I'm not one of these guys that are like, oh, we need to cancel everybody. We need to restrict everybody's speech. We need to deplatform. I'm not one of those guys. Like, have your conversation. And then the response can be what we're doing here.
Oh, I love that everybody's allowed back on X. I don't think people should be getting banned from the internet.
Let people talk. I think if you let them talk long enough, right, they reveal how ignorant they are, as Daryl Cooper did on Tucker.
I mean,
he got some opinions.
Yeah, and then we have these conversations, and look what it leads to. I get to learn more and understand more.
Yeah, and
people get mad at me?
Right?
What's up?
Would you say that the death toll now you're convinced is probably closer to 6 million at this point, Ben?
I've bumped up to 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Getting closer and closer.
Joking. I believe. Look, until I read. It's so funny because you speak about something on a podcast where you're just really trying to be funny and facts here and there to like kind of start a conversation, and then apparently every commenter is an expert in World War II and has read thousands of books on it apparently. Which is that's any topic you speak on. I'm not one of these guys that think you listen to Peterson or any of these guys. Any topic comes up, they're an expert on it. Nutrition, health, history, psychology, everything. It's really, it's the great line, Aaron, that our friend Nick Pizzolatto wrote in True Detective. Life is only so long to get good at one thing. And then Russ Cole says, so be careful what you get good at.
That's right.
I don't know if I butchered that line, but I think that was the line.
No, that's it. That's the thing right there, man. I think that's the thing.
You're a wise man. Really, how many things can you become unless you're marked by genius? We're talking Joyce. We're talking Bach.
Right.
We're talking
right.
We're talking Van Halen.
Edward Van Halen.
Mm-hmm. We're talking the brilliant, the geniuses, the math geniuses, the people that can understand things. They try to have a conversation with you and I. It's like talking to a dog, right? But
for sure,
we have the brain power to get good at one thing.
Yeah. You devote I'm a redneck from Seminole County, Oklahoma. I found reading late. Right, I didn't start reading until I was 21, seriously, and then I was like, this world opened up, and I found that I had some facility with it. I could do something with it where I was no kind of a baseball player. I played, but I wasn't any good, right? So you find a thing, you realize you have some facility, and you throw yourself in.
And through
unless
all your...
that thing is trying to deny the Holocaust.
Well, I'll say this. Through all of your rich... your library is extensive. Your personal library is... I'm very, very jealous of it. Through your research, you wrote All God's Children, which everybody should go buy. I guess, should they buy it on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon's fine.
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your shit.
You should buy all of Aaron's books. The research you've had to do on... It's like a 600-page, maybe 550-page novel about the Civil War. You really changed my perspective on... many, many things about the Civil War.
What if this whole time, I've been like, these idiots with their Holocaust and then I just come out and say that slavery was fake? What if I'm one of those freaking idiots, right?
They go, okay, you want us back.
Which I'm not. Slavery is completely evil, and what we've read about slavery is a true representation. I'm just imagining the horrible turn this can take.
Yeah.
Right, but the mainstream consensus on everything that happened during the Civil War and with slavery is we've been handed a big puff piece.
I don't know if I'd say that. I think people, when they think of slavery, they think of films, and it was much more brutal than films. You kind of can't portray on the screen the kind of shit people went through.
I grew up thinking that every white person who ever lived had a slave.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, not true. Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Yep.
Wow, I did not know that, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking about something that's incredibly expensive, right?
Yep.
Now, like people in New York City literally bought stock on Wall Street in enslaved people. People were traded like you would trade Google or Apple on the stock market.
I was unaware
right?
of this.
So people who never saw slavery, people who lived in Great Britain, people who lived in northern states where slavery was illegal, they made a fortune off slavery.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And then they stepped across the other side and said, I guess they said, I think we've hindsight's 20/20 here. We've made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also, right? Great Britain makes a killing off Southern slavery. They invest in shipping and invest in factories.
Yep.
The North makes a killing off Southern slavery. They invest in factories, infrastructure, canals, roads, foundries, you name it. The South makes a killing off slavery. They buy more slaves.
Well, we've talked extensively about this. We refute the idea that all pain and suffering and evil originates from Western civilization.
Isn't that the Proud Boys chant?
Well, when you put it that way. Well,
isn't it like I am a male chauvinist and I will not.
I mean,
Yeah,
then they eat they eat Fruit Loops or whatever. But look, they have some good ideas too. Everybody's got some good ideas. But the big thinkers, the great big thinkers online that were very popular for 10 years, that didn't really allow us to ask any questions about anything at all.
Yeah.
They don't. They are always a hop and a skip and a jump away from, well, this is because of capitalism, or, well, this is because of the evil hand of America, or, well, this is because of white guys, or this is because of... It always seems to be like they are just trying to, round peg, square hole with white guys and America. And I think that's very unfair. I think it's I went to the mall the other day and I had a piece of cheesecake, and I don't know what's evil about that.
It's not evil.
I mean, look,
you're enjoying
waistline.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm just getting a piece of cheesecake, and I love, and I'm free to do so, and no one stopped me.
By the way, some people are asking about who owned the ships and who owned the slaves, like Southern whites. Don't get it twisted. Don't
Well, the Farrakhan guys say it was Jewish ships, right?
No. Oh, here we go. That's what they're talking about. Good. You can't win. You can't listen. If your brain is so rotted that it always goes back to Jewish people, how do I even have a discussion with that person?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it? Okay, but I will say something to what you were saying. You were the people on Twitter canceling everyone, a few years back.
Yeah,
My belief,
luckily, their voice has waned.
Of course it has. Those people would have been working the concentration camps in 1944.
Preach.
Yep.
Preach. And they wouldn't have had psychotic breaks at all. They would have handled it just fine. They would have got raises and promotions immediately.
They would have been fine with it. Yeah, don't get it twisted. That's the personality type who bullies and wants to knuckle people over and lord power over them. Those are the kinds of people that ended up in the camps as camp guards. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think if a group, if their primary focus is to seek to exclude or marginalize a group of people, then aren't they inherently evil?
Yes.
That's what it kind of comes down to, right?
I think so.
And it seems that they all have pacts with each other to, be pretend gay or, vaguely androgynous or whatever.
Listen, you and Jace and Devin, you get on the internet, you're funny, you do Lemon Party, which is fucking great. It's the only funny podcast besides Hate Watch, in my opinion. And you don't try to cancel people. You're not trying to go at people. You're not trying to ruin people's lives. You guys aren't dishonest. You say what it is. You all talk about your own failings. You talk about your own shit. And that's what it is. That's what we need more of.
That's beautiful. I love that Aaron summed it up that way with a message of love. Mm-hmm. And me myself,
love for Lemon Party.
I weighed 209 pounds as of this morning. I've come when I was on tour, I was around 230, 235. We're dropping it way down. I'm getting the sugars and all these things out of my system, and I feel less bitter. I feel less angry, and I'm trying to have love for every man, and I mean every man, and especially men. Once I get that down, then I'll try to have love for a single woman. But until that day,
you gotta walk before you can run.
That's right. Right now we're crawling.
All right. Go have fun, guys.
Hey, and just Aaron, just again, plug everything. Plug everything.
Oh man, I'm at American Gwen on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called today. If you're interested in my shit, pretty much anything I'm into, I put on there. You can kind of get to out there. I've got a novella coming out in January. It's dedicated to someone very special.
And I read it. It's fantastic. I was one of the first people to read it, which I was honored to do.
You were, and I really appreciate it. And you're in the acknowledgments. Listen, you guys go have fun. Do comedy.
No, I know, but this is
serious.
This is a fun. We're doing a 5-hour 9/11 supercast. It's a special occasion. I wanted to set the record straight on Hitler once and for all, so we could stop talking about the Holocaust, for Christ's sake.
It just occurred to me that I fucking went on a podcast on 9/11 and talked about Hitler. This was a great career move for me. No, thanks for having me on, man. Kevin, it was great to meet you.
Hey, you
guys
too, brother.
have fun. This was awesome.
Okay.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, everybody go follow American Gwen. Thank you, buddy.
See you, Aaron.
Okay, thanks, bud.
All right,
Bye.
peace.
Wow.
Let me end. Anyway, I didn't buy a fucking word that guy said.
Yeah. It sounds like a real grifter.
Anyway. David Icke is calling into the show. David, where are you calling from? No, I'm kidding. We're doing a bit, Kevin.
I was like, hey, here we go.
Ralph Hitler from Long Island, you're on the phone. He's the great nephew of Adolf Hitler.
Hello, it's me, Ralph Hitler's here. I just want to call in. People were talking so much shit about my uncle.
Oh, dude, so my phone's gonna die, so we got to read the comments off of your phone. So we got to catch up on the super chats now. What's interesting, by the way, is oh fuck, it's not logged in, so I can't see all the super chats. How am I gonna do this?
Uh-oh.
Because it's got to be logged into the Lemon Party Clips channel. Maybe I can. Fuck.
You can plug your phone in somewhere.
Well, I don't have an iPhone charger in here.
Wow.
Okay, we'll figure it out once it dies, I guess. I'm at 3%.
It's great. You can log in on my phone if you need to.
I guess I could, but then I would have to confirm to log in. I would need this device.
Yeah, you need to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would, huh?
If you want to do it.
Maybe I can do it over here, I guess, or
there you go. Or you can do it on your computer.
Here, I'll just have it up on this monitor, and I'll just have to switch every now and then.
There you go.
Here we go. I'll just do it over here. This is how we do it.
Dude, that was great.
This is how we JQ it.
It is.
This is how we JQ it. The final solution. JQ it. Oh, sorry, it's repeating. Hey, it looks good. I don't know why people are saying they can't hear anything. Okay.
People are saying they can't hear anything?
No. Why it was lagging or whatever. Hold on.
Oh, it was earlier in the beginning. Yeah. It's weird having somebody who has done a lot of research and knows what they're talking about, because I'm so used to talking to people that are just winging it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just making shit up on the spot. There's no reference for actual
It's so refreshing.
information.
Yeah, you realize how rare it really is. You go, oh, fuck, he actually knows what he's talking about.
Well, that's why I was like, I just shutting the fuck up, because I'm like, I literally sit down and you're like, hey, we got this guy. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go.
Oh, did I not tell you we were going to talk about Hitler?
No, I mean, not until, you were telling me about some of the schism between the Lemon Party viewers.
Yeah. There's been quite the divide. I've seen less split a Baptist church in West Texas, but
oh yeah.
I mean,
it gonna be sprinkled or dipped. This psycho thinks you got to dip them.
Unfortunately, if men are a part of an institution, it is corrupted.
That's right.
And that's why until there's an institution that is comprised of total consciousness, I will not be part of it. I'm trying to read this shit. Here we go. Top chat. Fan funding. Let me zoom these in a little bit.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
It's so much harder to do this on here rather than the... Okay, so here we go. Turd Ferguson with the 5 says, fried egg roll and a dog. Fried egg roll and a dog. Thank you, Turd Ferguson. You were the first in. Sorry we weren't reading the super chats until just now, but we're catching up. Booger Banger 69 with the 5 just says 9/11 with the thumbs up. Love to see it. Marco B with the $10. Thank you, Marco. God bless you. God bless you on this Lord's Day, September the 11th, 2024. Says, follow Professor at American Gwen on Twitter. The man knows his American literature. Also, your internet lag sucks. Yes, but it seems our internet speed has caught up and we are doing well now. But thank you, Marco. Daniel with the $10 says, is this a last-ditch effort to keep Ben from moving to Texas? Kevin, you hated Ben's 9/11 jokes by the end of Brain Jail, and now you join him on a live stream on 9/11. Sad. And then he said, just kidding, I'm very gay.
I'm gay as well, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
Ben's obsession with 9/11, it will weigh on you.
No, I've matured.
Yeah.
I've moved on to poop and pee.
Yeah, I'm a poo-poo-pee-pee guy myself.
Hey, to each man his own.
Dude, look at this guy.
KC with the 1999 says, hell yeah, this rules. Guests. Yeah, we're trying to mix it up over here. We're trying to do a lot of content. You know, folks try to shit on me for doing these live streams. Some people get very mad, but it's a free show.
That's true.
It's completely free. I don't know why what there is to be mad about.
Well,
it's free and you don't have to watch it.
Well,
so.
based on what I paid, it sucks. Sucks ass.
Jacob Pagoda, and thank you, Casey, for the 20. That's wonderful. Jacob Pagoda with the $4.99 says, shout out Aaron for the wreck of Stoner by John Williams. Even if Ben thinks it's gay, highly recommend The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt by Edmund Morris. Is that the 3-parter about Theodore Roosevelt? It's supposed to be really good, but I'm not gonna think it's gay. And I just ordered Stoner by John Williams. It's coming in the mail via eBay. A little hack I found: you can get books on eBay for like $4 from like online used bookstores, and they don't even charge shipping. I'm done with Amazon now.
Amazing.
I'm finding exactly what I like on eBay. It's fell by the wayside a little bit as the sands of time have trickled along through the capitalist coup de grace that we've seen, where there's 3 gas companies, there's 5. I'm gonna start doing a Carlin thing. There's 3 gas companies, there's 5, blah blah blah. There's but you can get 32 flavors of Baskin Robbins, so you think you have freedom of choice. Here's the freedom of choice you do have. eBay still exists. They're live and kicking, and there's great stuff out there, folks. Go on eBay, go on Facebook Marketplace. Stay off Amazon if you can. Obviously, use it for the essentials. They're fantastic. I love their work. Lance Guthrust with the 10. Is this who we're reading? Lance Guthrust with the 10 says, Ben, in honor of 9/11, look up Secret First Sequence of Postal, the movie. All right, here we go.
Yeah, load it up. And then we'll go through them at the end. What do you think?
What was it? Secret First Sequence of Postal, the movie. Okay, here we go. Here we are.
Congratulations, Nabi. We are at the doorstep of our martyrdom.
Praise Allah.
Praise Him. Soon we will be greeted by Allah, the one true God, and by the cheers of our forefathers, and by 99 perfect virgins who will worship us for all eternity.
I thought it was 100.
What's that?
100 virgins. They promised me 100.
99, 100. What's the difference?
If they're telling you one thing and they're telling me another, maybe they don't know for sure.
Maybe the exact number of virgins is not precise.
I mean, if it's in the 90s, I can live with that.
Or 75.
Hey, I'm not greedy, but what if it's 10?
Well,
What if it's 10? But we have to split them between us.
It's actually 72.
then you'll have 5 more virgins than you have right now, right?
We're talking about eternity here. How long will 5 virgins last you?
Maybe a month? They're not going to be virgins for long, right?
Would it make you feel better if we called the big guy?
Yes.
Take this thing.
The music.
It's ringing. Osama, yes, it's Asif. No, we're on it. It's fine, but security takes forever, you know. What are you going to do? Anyway, look, Nabi has a question. Will you talk to him?
Hello. Yes.
It's about the virgins.
Really?
It was 100 when I signed up.
He said it's not that many anymore.
Too many marches than the virgins to go around.
You've got to be kidding me. Does he know what we are here? Give me the phone. Take this thing. Osama, Sasif. Right now, can you tell me the number absolutely that you can guarantee Nabi and myself as far as virgins are concerned? No, that's fine. I can't guarantee more than 20. Screw this, right?
I'm glad you said it first.
Okay, get on the intercom to the passengers. We are changing course for the Bahamas. Oh, that fucking rolls. I don't know. I've never seen that movie before. They've had me watch a couple scenes from it now, and it's insanely funny.
Holy shit. I have never seen that before.
No, me neither.
17 years ago.
God, that's so funny.
Amazing recommendation.
Fantastic, Lance Goodthrust. Eli Snyder coming in with the $5 says, "Hello, Ben. Thank you for your historical knowledge. I'm gay. I have no historical knowledge. Very, very, very little. But thank you, sir." Lance Goodthrust says, "As a fan of Mussolini, I can confirm with Aaron." Very good. Let's see here. Skipping past, there were some questions for Aaron for like $2. Skipping over those. Sorry, you guys were asking about the Havana agreement. I don't know if he ever talked about that. I'm sorry I did not see that. I apologize, Ouroboros. That's my bad. But if you DM him, I'm sure he'll tell you. Or just tweet it at him, and he'd probably be happy to answer it in a quote tweet. Euphoria with the Australian $33.33. Says, "Happy 9/11 Day, everybody. Yoo-hoo, yeah, baby." Very good. It's a great day in Australia, isn't it?
Good eye.
They were probably ahead of the curve on understanding the comedy within the day because they weren't as affected by it. I've never seen an Aussie shed a tear over 9/11.
No.
But hey, maybe if you guys, shoot for the stars, maybe you'll have a 9/11 of your own one day, and it will legitimize your country just a little bit more.
Yeah, good.
But
good luck.
unfortunately, you're still an afterthought. At Moto388 with the $9.99 says, "Turned one of my friends on to Lemon Party. He ordered $120 worth of merch today. LP Street Team on the loose. Very good. Sorry I'm late, Benny." Thank you, at Moto. God bless you. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for buying the merch. Lemonparty.life to get the merch. Jace did a great job with that line of stuff, and we're all very proud of him, and we love him dearly. Mm-hmm. It's a hardcore line of shirts. We will be releasing more stuff in the future, but we wanted to do a hardcore line first. Bus Cole with the 5 says, "How's it going?" Good, Bus Cole. Thanks for joining, pal. Thanks for fucking joining. Thanks for donating. Curse Chris with the $2. Says 9/11. I already forgot. Very good. Great joke out the gate. And then Steve H with the $50. Steve, I love Steve. He's a fantastic man, and we all know him and love him here on the Lemon Party Lives.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick.
Okay, you do that, pal. We'll all be thinking about you.
I'm gonna go piss out of my dick hole.
As you're, well, you don't have to work blue on the stream. I've asked you to keep it clean. I said if you're gonna do the stream, no piss stuff, no shit stuff, and no swearing.
Sorry.
And you just broke it all in one sentence.
That's how I do it.
Folks, we're having fun. We're having a good time. You should follow Kevin Tinkin. He's a very funny comedian. He's who's been sitting beside me right here. He's one of my favorite people. He's near and dear to my heart. And a shout out to the Pendejo live stream, or the Pendejo podcast I did last night at the Virgil in LA. I did stand up on that. I actually had a pretty great set. And felt good. Felt like I'm getting the rust off. We had really. I thought I was gonna bomb my ass off. Had a really, really, really good show. So you guys should definitely listen to Pandejo Time. Jake and Tom. I go way back with Jake. Way before. I've known Jake for like 10 years. He's from Austin, and Thomas is insanely funny on Twitter at Leno Killer. Love the Pandejo Time pod. If you guys are looking for more podcasts, they're doing great stuff on Patreon and everywhere else. But, guys, it's 9/11. Now, that might not mean a lot to you because you're sitting there, you're thinking, hey, Ben, I'm 13. I ride a dirt bike, and I just started learning how to jack off, and my favorite podcast is Lemon Party. I don't know shit about 9/11. Well, the same way I went about learning about Hitler, I encourage you to learn a thing or two about the Twin Towers. Now, I did see a video today that was pretty good from, I believe his name is Waifu Watchers is his name. This was actually a pretty decent video in terms of understanding 9/11. I'd love to share it all with you guys here. Here we go.
Is now, who coordinated the most sophisticated terror campaign ever before seen that bypassed the world's biggest defense budget and then was never able to even remotely replicate anything like it again. Honestly, I'm just impressed that people from the hidden sand village could fly airplanes at all, let alone Steph Curry half-court no-scope them into 3 really important buildings with perfect aim. That is a 9/11 miracle, and it turns out there's a lot of miracles.
By the way, this man also, he's super into lolly. I looked at his profile. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to retweet this, but it's
the fuck is lolly?
We can't get into that on the stream. That's we'll have that conversation behind closed doors. We're trying to stay monetized over here, but I advise, actually don't Google lolly. Let's just I'll tell Kevin. I'll tell you all about it when you're older.
All right.
Cold work going on with 9/11. So let's first start with God's chosen miracle, the one. A month and a half before 9/11, this guy becomes the new owner of the Twin Towers after signing a 99-year lease for $3.2 billion. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, this guy looks very honest and trustworthy. His name is Larry Silverstein. You can't make this up. Larry did what any responsible would do after buying anything. He finagled a never-before-seen insurance policy that covered the towers for double their value. His policy request was so fucking retarded that the broker had to bring together 25 different insurance lenders to give him what he asked for, making him one of the first people in American history to get terrorism insurance on a commercial building. And as we know, days later, Kamar and Pajit Allahu Alley-oop slam dunk 2 planes into the towers, reducing Larry's multi-billion-dollar investment into a pile of rubble and the biggest insurance payout in the history of the world. Sadly, Larry couldn't make it to work on 9/11 and unfortunately is still alive to this day.
Roaming the earth, waiting for Satan to reclaim his soul back to the underworld.
But trust me, it's not just rich that God blesses miracles with. The government gets its fair share as well. Wow. September 10th, the day before 9/11, retards at the Pentagon announced $2.7 $1 trillion in missing funds, only to have a Tuscan raider park a Boeing 757 directly in their accounting department the next day, 32 minutes after the second tower was hit, 225 miles away. 3 buildings hit in less than an hour? Now that's a 9/11 miracle, baby. Building 7, the Twin Towers' cute little lolly sister, located 1,600 feet away from the impact site, quietly fell straight into the ground 7 hours after the Twin Towers. The news and the people that run it blamed a small office fire, but every single structural engineer ever calls that impossible.
That's what the physics shows.
Saying it was a controlled demolition.
A perfect controlled demolition of an intact building.
It is too bad engineers don't believe in miracles. Total miracle death. Now, I still have some questions, and they're questions that miracles can't quite answer. Why did Leslie Robertson, lead engineer for the Twin Towers, say that she literally designed them to withstand the impact of a Boeing 707 airplane? Until 9/11, no steel structure in history has ever collapsed due to a fire. So how the did it happen 3 times in a row in one day? Why did hundreds of survivors report explosions?
There was a heavy-duty explosion
Inside the lobby.
It was this big explosion.
Continuous explosions.
Floor by floor. Yeah, detonated.
Planned to take down a building. Boom, boom, boom.
Why did 3 of the plane hijackers have a U.S. Naval Air Station military base as their primary address of residence on their driver's license? Why did NIST admit they deliberately avoided searching for explosive residues in their official investigation? Why did a dozen independent researchers find thermite and explosive materials at Ground Zero? Why is it okay for this to do whiteface, but when I do blackface, it becomes this huge problem all of a sudden? Who is E-Team, and why were they a group of Israeli artists living in the towers with unrestricted access leading up to 9/11? Speaking of which, who are the dancing Israelis, and why were they jailed and deported for filming and celebrating?
Now, Kevin, do you know about the dancing Israelis? Have you heard of this?
No.
That they were reportedly dancing on when the towers fell?
I heard it was Muslims.
Oh, well, here we go.
The towers collapsing.
Here were revealed as Mossad assets who were arrested after cheering and high-fiving and videotaping the crash of the airplanes into the World Trade Towers.
Why did thousands of the world's top engineers and architects form an entire organization to challenge the official 9/11 lies and narrative? And why would anyone ever make a t-shirt immortalizing and commemorating?
So then he sells his shirt, his lolly shirt at the end. But anyway. Kevin, can you check with the subject matter? Can you check to see if we're still alive?
Yep. Let me double check that. I can't really tell, to be honest. Yeah, it appears that we are still alive.
Good. Dr. Beat Them Cheek says, what dance move do you think they were hitting? That's pretty good.
They're doing this stanky leg out there, dude. Just watching the towers fall in the dust.
Yeah, they're like, watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay.
You know what's sad about that song?
I would have broke dance. I would have like spun on my head, like with a bucket hat on top of the South Tower.
See, I
before it goes down.
I did on the worm up there. You know when the guys do the worm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sad about that song? Watch me whip, watch me nay nay. He wrote that for his dad. And
because his dad never paid attention
never
to him
watched
or
him
loved
whip
him.
or nay nay.
That's very sad.
It's really sad.
Well, I hope he repaired his relationship with his father, and they eventually found the Lord.
It's really sad in the chorus when he's just going, "Watch me, watch me, watch me." Well, I mean, he's not watching, you know,
because he's screaming, "Dad, look at me!
Dad, pay attention!
Please,
to me,
love me!
Watch me whip!
Love me!"
Yeah, and Dad wouldn't do it.
Dylan Farnham with the $10 says, "Today is my wife's and I's anniversary. Also, we did a home birth 2 days ago, and now
Holy
have a new
shit.
addition. Wow, guys!" Send up some prayers for Dylan Farnham. Light up the chat. Let him know he's loved. Let him know we're thinking about him. Kevin has 2 children of his own. I have an 8-month-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Farnham, this is his second that he has. Is number 2 for him, Kev.
Congrats,
number 2.
buddy,
He has a
man.
beautiful wife and a beautiful life.
How do you know how old his oldest is?
I think he is like maybe a pretty young, like under 4.
Yeah. You're in for the gauntlet, buddy.
But it says, also, we did a home birth 2 days ago and now have a new addition. Let us celebrate with the video Bane hit transplant. Shout out to Tom Myers. Nice. Oh, he's the bong hit transplant. The you know this bit from Come Town?
No.
Tom Myers was a guy that Nick Mullen knew. Bong hit transplant. Tom Myers. And Tom was a comedian that he knew in like the D.C. or Baltimore area. And he would always antagonize him on the show. He's like a Kevin, because we knew a lot of these guys in open mics.
Oh yes,
the oddities of these people. Watch this guy. You're gonna love him. I don't know if you've seen his act.
We would always want to talk about these guys, and then it would be like,
and my
we can't
next
talk
guest
about it.
is none other than Baltimore's own comedian Tom Myers.
Hello, comedian Tom Myers.
He's gonna do some stand-up.
Tom Myers, hey Tom.
I'm gonna piss real quick.
Hey Tom. Hello. How you guys doing tonight? Everybody having a good time so far? Yeah, I'm in kind of a weird mood myself. I was on my way down here. I stopped at a convenience store.
Great audio.
I'm waiting in line to pay, and the guy in front of me puts down a dozen donuts, 2 big bags of Doritos, one of those cheapo 1-gallon bottles of the generic brand fruit punch, and a nasty old rotting banana. And he turns to the clerk and says to him, "My girlfriend just had an operation. She can only eat certain things." I look at him and I go, "Yeah, right. What, did she have a bong hit transplant?" That guy's in here right now, isn't he? Oh, shit. So it's an election year. It's an election year. You guys all excited about this election coming up? Yeah.
Actually,
Hey, you played the wrong video.
Me, I'm an Obama person, but me, I kind of, part of me.
He just super chatted. He said, "Sir, I said Bane hit transplant."
Oh, I thought he typed in Bane because the chat wouldn't let him type bong.
Ah.
Okay. All right. That's my bad. Sorry. So usually they spell things incorrectly that they can't type in the super chat. It won't let. And I assume bong because it's drug paraphernalia. They wouldn't let them let him type it in.
Jesus Christ, dude! How dare you? You screwed it up.
This is good. Okay. This is funny. This is gonna be good. But hey, now people have context for the bit at least.
Yeah.
How you guys doing tonight? Everybody having a good time so far? Yeah, I'm in kind of a weird mood myself. I was on my way down here. I stopped at a convenience store. I'm waiting in line to pay, and the guy in front of me puts down a dozen donuts, 2 big bags of Doritos, one of those cheapo 1-gallon bottles of the generic brand fruit punch, and a nasty old rotting banana. And he turns to the clerk and says to him, "My girlfriend just had an operation. She can only eat certain things." I look at him and I go, "Yeah, right. What, did she have a bong hit transplant?" That guy's in here right now, isn't he? Oh, shit. So it's an election year. You guys all excited about this election coming up? Me, I'm an Obama person, but me, part of me kind of wants Hillary Clinton to take the Oval Office. No, okay, hear me out. What's the first thing Hillary Clinton's gonna do when she gets in office? Get back, no! Get back at Bill for all the shit he pulled. That's why I'm gonna apply to be an intern. I quit smoking though, so I don't know if that'll affect my shot, but... Everyone smoked pot back then. Paul Revere would be galloping down the street like... Think the British are coming, dudes. Luckily for me, I got enough. I can share. You guys have been a great crowd. That's my time. Thank you very much.
It's so funny. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pause it, but it's so funny because Tom Myers, it's so bad that he's doing like a Bill Hicks sort of thing, especially like an early Bill Hicks.
Yeah, he's trying.
He's trying so hard, but it's just...
It's like what guys forget, you have to actually write jokes and not just speak with a particular cadence.
Yeah. Let's play the rest of this.
You guys have been a great crowd. That's my time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pull back the fighters. Start high-level reconnaissance flights. Get the president on the line.
that kicks ass.
Dude, when somebody was saying, what were they saying? Like Hitler was backed into a corner, he had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Look up comedian smashes guitar on stage.
Comedian smashes guitar on stage.
Yeah, this is the first thing that I thought of when he was like, I had to do it. Hitler
guitar on stage.
It's a metaphor for what was being said.
This one right here, famous heckler.
See if there's a shorter one, but
that's 2 minute 2:21:41. This one right here.
Yeah.
What's your name? Kenny, man, what's your name? Well, you ain't shitting, but... Yeah, I'll tell you, if you guys don't shut the fuck up, about 200 people are going to beat the living shit out of you. I ain't kidding.
Who is this comment?
Because we got
Don't
people
know.
can just take you out here so fast, man. It'll be like you out in the parking lot going, huh? I know. It's the okay state. I seen your license plate. Oklahoma's okay. It's like, you know, it may not be Nirvana, man, but by God, it's okay. I don't know, if you're in Oklahoma, is that get Oklahomanian? I guess if you were gay, you'd be in Oklahoma. Kind of like this guy. But you know, no, really, don't mess with me, because I don't come down to the bus station and slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working, do I?
Classic.
Get on up here, motherfucker. Give me security. I'm sorry, man. The guy fucking came at me. What do you think, folks?
No way.
Okay, sure.
They're not on his side.
That was unnecessary.
Dude, I thought they were going to be on his side.
I want my money back.
He just leaves.
I want my money back.
Did you hear the guy? Because that was unnecessary. The guy,
you know what's funny is everybody was.
That's it.
Everybody was on Chris Rock's side.
Yeah.
But this guy, no.
Well, the Jews came at me. What do we think, folks? No.
That's Hitler.
Yeah.
That's.
They came at me. As that guy came at me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. When I watch heckler videos, I think about Hitler usually, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Dylan Farnham with the 5 says one of the hijackers asked my aunt for flight lessons, and she was then gang stalked for years after. That's very good. Did we miss anything from his other super chat? No, we didn't. And he said, "Sir, I said Bane hit transplant, not bong. Apologies, Dylan. Apologies for that."
Somebody said Jace should do this in the next live performance. Smash a guitar over
The guitar.
someone's head.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty great. The guy fucking came at me. What do we think, folks?
Dude, so far, this has been one of my favorite streams. It's been informational. We've, I don't like to play devil's advocate, but if you force my hand, I will.
Yeah, you hate playing devil's advocate.
Well, look, I wear size 13s, but still there's many different shoes I can fit into.
Yeah.
And I'll step into them if I need, because life is a stage, and we all play characters, we all play roles, we all read lines written by the pen of God.
Do you want me to play some bongos behind this?
Smart, what did I say? Smart fits, smart tiffs. The green's hard to read from here.
Almost died last week?
With the Canadian 5 says, I almost died last week while listening to the latest Lemon Party while bench pressing in my basement. Stomach laughter under 500 pounds is no bueno. Thanks, I'm gay. Another very funny podcast, by the way, and thank you for that. God bless you. I do imagine people usually lifting weights underground as they listen to my podcast.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to consume content.
I'm going to, because Kevin, we haven't even plugged your stuff yet.
Oh no, you haven't. You should play. I think we should play a guided meditation on here.
Eddie Pepitone. Okay, this is the. Oh shit! Hold on. I gotta go back. Hold on. Because I need oh fuck, I have the chat. This all left back here. Hold on.
Ruh-roh.
Ah fuck. I didn't even realize that left.
Oh, it just happened.
It just happened?
Okay.
Yeah. I need to go back to this because this is where I was reading the chats from. Here we go. Let me get this back. I should start bringing. I have an iPad in my daughter's room that I should bring so I can read have it here to read the chats and everything.
How's she gonna look at pornography though? If you take her
Kevin, I'm not raising her to be a damn dim.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't try to hold her back from exploring her sexuality. You know, that's a really colonist move. You know, it's a real straight white male.
Dude,
kind of
you
move,
have told me honestly, like it sounds like some of these parent-teacher conferences you go to in Los Angeles. This isn't far from a conversation in the near future.
Dude, absolutely not. This shit's wild. I told you when my daughter came home 4th grade, she told me she was a lesbian. She goes, Dad, I'm a lesbian.
Did she really?
Yes. And I go, what does that mean? She goes, me and all my friends were lesbians, where it's like a girls-only club. And so I told her what it was, you know, that whatever. And she was like, oh, I don't think I'm a lesbian.
You explained what being a lesbian was to your daughter when she's how old here? 11?
She's in 4th grade. So, yeah, she's 10, 11.
Okay.
And she comes home and tells me she's a lesbian. And I'm like, what's that mean? And she says, it means that me and all my friends were all lesbians. It's like girls only. You know, no boys allowed.
Well, she's not far from the truth here.
No. I mean, it's close. But I was like, well, being a lesbian typically means you're sexually attracted to a woman. And she was like, no, Dad, I'm not that. So then she told her friends.
Folks, this is the problem with raising kids in L.A.
Yeah,
you guys hate on me for thinking about moving to Texas, but this is what it is.
Yeah,
I'll live behind a Buc-ee's, like on a highway.
Dude, that would be sick. I mean, imagine the deals on sodas. It's basically free refills.
Think of the glory holes.
The glory.
Old Glory.
Well, that was what that movie was about, right?
Yeah, it was. Matthew Broderick led a team of black guys to man glory holes throughout the South at different Buc-ee's.
Great movie.
And they brought the country together.
Yeah,
because everybody loves sucking black dick.
Who doesn't?
But that's the Hollywood agenda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Zionist agenda. Is they want to condition us to think everybody wants to suck black dick.
That's right.
Much like how your daughter was taught to be a lesbian in 4th grade.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me.
So she tells her friends, "Hey, I talked to my dad, and he told me."
And some of these kids are like trans at like 9, right?
Oh, they're born that way. You know, they're born trans. They're born.
I'm not joking though. You've told me this. Like,
dude, this shit.
Like, I'm in 5th grade and I'm transgender, and the teacher's like, "All right."
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, there was even a situation where the teacher, everything was happening at school with one of the kids. They were telling him. The teacher was essentially addressing the kid in their preferred way, but the parents didn't know, you know. So then there was like this weird thing at a parent-teacher conference where essentially the teacher's like, "Oh, your daughter," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you know, that basically it was their son, you know. But yeah, so Annie in 4th grade tells her friends, "I'm not a lesbian," and then all of her friends are like, "Oh, you're homophobic," and basically shunned her for, you know, like half of COVID essentially. And she was like in tears. We
got to get this story on Candace Owens' desk.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that's what they want. Dude, Fox News is chomping at the bit.
Stand-up comedian's daughter.
Yeah, been
radicalized by the damn Demorats.
That's right. No, I told her, I always ranted her. I was like, he's just bringing, Trump's going to be great. He's going to be, she's like, Dad. And I'm like, no, he just wants to bring abortion back to the States. That's all he wants. Why are you
That's
freaking
all he
out?
wants.
Everybody wanted that. Everybody. That's what Trump said in the latest debate.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get into the debate stuff later.
Yeah,
I'm assuming people are going to start suggesting we watch that stuff. There'll be donations for that. But
dude, you want to put on one of Eddie's guided meditations?
Oh yes, so I would love to, because Kevin, it's hard out here in these streets, in the stand-up streets. Kevin's been representation has turned you down because they say we're not taking any straight white guys right now.
I have been told that on 3 separate occasions. I have. I hate that that's true, but yes, it has been said to me.
We did a big show. We went up to Santa Clarita, did a great show. You did 30.
Yeah.
I did a shorter set.
Yep.
You were fucking wall to wall amazing. You were crushing on these MILFs in the front row and they had great cans, racks.
Oh my God.
The work done. Beautiful broads up there. And they were well into their 60s. Some of these ladies. And titties that rival Pelosi.
Yeah, and we were up above them. You know, we could be real creeps.
Well, that's why you got that's why you got into comedy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you could look down women's shirts.
Absolutely, you could look all the way down.
You're allowed to be racist and you can look down women's shirts.
That's 2 for 2. That's 2 for 2. That's all I've ever wanted.
I quit stand-up because I was like, I thought you could do it on the floor underneath the table.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of the pipe dream, in more ways than one, because you want to see that pipe, I've tried to do stand-up under a woman's skirt before, but didn't work out.
Yeah.
Wasn't... I got kicked out of the club, but, it's hard. I did do stand-up once in the middle of an earthquake. And the reason I thought of that is because a woman in the front row got underneath the table and was, like, shaking and shivering. And everybody was like, well, it's okay. It looks like we're all right now. And then she stayed under the table and was, like, almost crying. And I was on stage, literally through an earthquake in fucking Bakersfield adjacent area. And I was like, you can leave if you want, and because she wouldn't get out from under the table. Imagine an entire audience freaks out for a second. They all come back, and we're fine. I'm getting back, and then there's one woman still under a table. By the way, only black woman in the room.
She was
which is
probably
also
afraid
another
of
thing that
everybody
felt-
watching her titties jiggle throughout the. There's an aftershock coming. Everybody's going to be looking at my breastises.
That's right. That's exactly what happened. And she put a big robe on, covered those pups up.
Beautiful.
No, and she left the room, but yeah, it was terrifying. But I like to be under the table. I like to get underneath the table, in a breeze or something. That's when I do my best work.
And by the way, Earthquake, one of my favorite comics.
Amazing. He's genuinely, talk about the GOAT. Like, he is seriously one of the funniest motherfuckers ever.
This is one of the goats to me. Eddie Pepitone makes me laugh so much. And you guys do a podcast called Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, throw that first clip up there, right? That first short.
This
right
one
there,
will be
just
right back.
Yeah, just so you can see.
Why don't we have dangerous comedians hosting late night shows? Have someone like me who's never made it. Here would be my opening monologue. I can't believe people are still having children. What the fuck is that about? And the crowd is like, I time my life right, by the way. You people, you're fucked. You're fucked. I'll be dead. All right, let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back with, I don't know, the same old shitheads. Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Isn't she good? She came from fucking money. She doesn't need it. The rich get richer. People like me wake up in North Hollywood going, not another day. Not another day. Why don't we have dangerous...
God, he's so good.
He's so fucking great. Yeah, go
the knife clip that you cut made me laugh so hard.
Wait,
is that on here? The one about the guided meditation of he's like, get a knife from the kitchen.
No, I didn't post that one on here yet. I stagger them. But go to playlists.
Playlists?
Yeah, and then go down.
And you guys are everywhere. You're on Spotify, Apple.
Yeah, go to guided meditation.
Guided meditation with comedian Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, it should pull up all of them. And go to let's see here. Go to one of the towards the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, pick any one of those down there.
Pick any one of these?
Yeah. It's time for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, people in comfortable, loose, fitting clothing who are in yoga studios or just big spaces with great amounts of light, natural light coming through. Poor people, I'm not interested in you. You never have money for my products. So, with your first in-breath, and I'm talking to the people who have money, with your first in-breath, I want you to breathe in the great polarization of wealth in this country, and thank God you're on the side of the people who have enough money that you don't have to fear for your life every second. Breathe that in, that you are not one of the people who are being threatened by their neighbors. Have you ever lived in a neighborhood where you walk by a structure and you're targeted with zip guns or crossbows or just people lunging at you with desperation in your eyes? Just I want you to breathe that in, that you're not around bloodthirsty, desperate people. Okay, and now with your first out breath, I want you to breathe out all of the bacteria, because even if you're rich, I'm even coughing, and I'm not rich, but even if you're rich, you have so much bacteria that is now an inevitable part of our culture. It's just all of the soot, all of the chemicals that are in the air, all of the plastics that are in your body. Most of you could be made into Tupperware at this point. There's so much plastic in your bodies. Breathe all of these toxins out.
Dude, you know what me and Jace were laughing about last night talking about Eddie? Is Eddie Pepitone's WTF.
Oh, it's so good.
WTF, he's it should pop up immediately, I think. Yeah, this thing right here.
It's amazing. Yeah,
But I really think this is a nice way to go out to.
Man, I remember living outside Abilene, Texas, watching this 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I think, 14 years ago. And thinking, what did you...
Stay, everybody. These are prayer beads. Hey, what the fuck, Mark? I'm just going to jump into it because I know we have sketch groups back there who've worked for minutes on things.
That's like the funniest slide. They've been working for minutes on things.
And I know that's a comment about today's kids who do in my day, we fucking work for hours and hours, your day as well. I don't think it's good enough, we would say, and then eventually we would come out on stage and fail, whereas these kids, these fucking kids run out on this stage, like Mark said, with waffles in a hat, and bang, they're on fucking Parks and Recreation.
Dude, he fucking hates Aziz Ansari.
I know.
He hates.
So Stephen Farnartz, who's a good friend of ours.
Yes.
He directed the Bitter Buddha documentary with Eddie Pepitone, and it's just Eddie driving around in his piece of shit car that keeps like breaking down, and he's like, "Why do people like Aziz? What is that?
Who the fuck is this kid? This fucking Aziz Ansari."
It's so funny.
Yeah, dude, he gets so mad.
Parks and Recreation as well. Which is so fucking boring. I want to kill myself and my family. If I had a family, I do not have a family. But if I did, I would murder them in front of Parks and Recreation when they're talking to the camera about the other characters in the show, and you realize life is such a vapid whirlpool of nothing. But that, Mark asked me to talk about the balloon fuck yesterday, and I will. Now this is what gets me about this fucking society now. I used to think Wolf Blitzer was a journalist. Guess what? I was dead fucking wrong. That fucking idiot is going, the balloon, the kid, is it? And they had experts on. Did you watch this? They had fucking experts on CNN going.
Oh yeah, this was when the kid was supposedly stuck in a
and they
weather
followed
balloon.
it for 7 hours, and the kid wasn't in there at all.
He was just in the basement.
Yeah.
We could hold that child. And I'm watching this going, my life is horrible. I barely can scratch by. People 20 feet from my door on Tahunga, and I'm telling you the name of the street, and I don't want people trying to kill me lunging at me because your life is horrible.
He's still there.
And for some reason you made me the center of your heart. Right? Because John Lennon, I know I'm not as popular as Lennon, but he was killed by some fucking nut like you. Whoever you are. And you.
He's so good, man.
God, I could watch him all day.
But you guys have a great podcast, man.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm doing basically what Mark is doing on that episode so often. When you work with a guy like Eddie, yeah, it's like I'm like so much of it is like I want to get out of the way, But yeah, we've done some really fun stuff together, and he's a good friend too. He's a good guy.
Follow Kevin Tinkin on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, and listen to Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone and Kevin Tinkin.
Mm-hmm.
Jake from Stout Farm with the 5 says, "Hey Ben, thanks for making me laugh every day listening to LP at work, surrounded by people who'd be horrified if my Bluetooth disconnected for 10 seconds." Yeah, it's such a people don't tell other people they listen to the show, and that is a fear. It's almost like they're watching porn and they're afraid it'll connect to some Bluetooth speaker in the house, and the wife barges into the bathroom and knows something is amiss.
When we would do Brain Jail, and people would be like, people from back home from church or whatever, would be like, "How you doing out there? Everything seems like you're really getting after. You're doing a podcast, aren't you? I got it. I want to support that."
Would you go, "Nope"?
No, I would be very honest with people. That podcast and a lot of what I've constantly tried to do is to get to where I'm not splitting my personality. You know what I mean? Where I try to be the same person all the time or whatever. But so I would try to be honest.
You're not one of these comics that goes on stage and adapts some completely different voice and character.
No.
You do act like a wigger on stage, though.
Oh, a little bit.
You go, bro. You go. You point in the front row. You go, "Y'all fucking."
Y'all fucking. Hey, who's sucking and who's fucking, y'all? No, I mean that shit.
Look at this Chinese motherfucker over here. Look at this white lady grabbing her purse.
Man, you one of them light-skinned brothers, ain't you? It's an albino.
Yeah.
Hey, you one of them. I always say when I'm on stage, I'm always going after that type of stuff. I like to. It's popular. Everybody loves it. And everybody knows. Like when I go it's when you're supposed to laugh. That's the laugh line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can't say the N-word soft A.
You can't. You go, yeah.
And then you pop your suspenders. You wear big Mork and Mindy suspenders on stage.
Yeah. And I airbrush my face onto my own T-shirts.
Uh-huh. But you've cut little holes in the suspenders right here so people can see your nipples.
Yeah, I got big nipples. I worked on them for a long time.
Some say they're the size of a paper plate.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, a lot of people talk shit, and but they're not having to walk around with the weight of these bad boys. And the thing about having big old nips, too, is the gay community, they love them.
They love them.
They want them. If you go on Missed Connections right now on Craigslist or whatever, you'll see a lot of guys looking for a man with huge nips.
Is that a big thing?
Yeah, big puffy nipples.
Now, what do they want to do with them?
I don't know. They want to suck on them or flick them or I don't know. I mean, I don't get it, but to each their own.
I'm gonna have to. I have to do some soul searching maybe to understand that one.
What's weird for me is like if I think about like a big set of huge juicy jugs, I'm like, yeah. But if I zoom out a little bit and it's a man's face
or his ass,
yeah, dude. Oh, dude, seeing some really nice cleavage and it zooms out and it's just a plumber.
Ass.
It's just a guy working.
Or this right here.
Yeah, dude. Or the thumb and the forefinger cleavage. Oh yeah, I've been
there. I've been hoodwinked a few times.
Oh, some thumbnails, some suggestive thumbnails. You're going, are they putting this on?
I've been catfished more than a catfish.
It's great. It is a good pull. It was a good pull.
I wonder why they do call it catfishing. I wonder if it's because catfish will eat anything because it's like in the mud at the bottom of the lake. It's I'm interested in catfish, especially blue cats and channel cats. I find them to be beautiful.
Those are both.
I used to catch them all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
In Abilene?
Yeah, we did. We couldn't afford fishing poles, so I had to learn to hold my breath and swim to the bottom.
Yeah. I'd have to lower my dick into the the river. Well, it was basically just it was our water,
Sure,
I would have just lower my dick in there, and then when a fish would nibble on it, I'd pull up real quick, and then I lost another one.
Well, people, that show River Monsters where there's a fish that swims up a man's penis?
Yeah.
I go, well, fuck, that's free dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah,
like if a fish swam up my ass, I'd clench my cheeks and I'd hightail it home to the stove.
Yeah,
and I'd have a nice clean dinner, get my omega-3s, get some clean protein.
This guy's complaining. He's looking to give fish in the mouth. You know what I mean?
That's right. One man's, yeah, exactly, Kevin.
One man's dick parasite is another man's dinner.
It's all about perspective.
It really is.
Speaking of perspective, it was, some say it was $3 million.
Huh.
Dylan,
getting closer.
Jake from Stout Farm. Oh, no, we got him. Dylan Farnham with the 5 says, I wrote a joke. Please be gentle. Dating apps are like going to the pound. It's full of old bitches with all their shots and mixed breeds.
All right. Wait, say it again.
Dating apps are like going to the pound. It's full of... Well, this is a joke that Mark Norman would probably say. I mean, he always tweets like... He always is comparing something to like something else, and you go, "All right, whatever, dude.
I'm gay."
But he goes, "Dating apps are like going to the pound. It's full of old bitches with other. They have shots and mixed breeds."
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you're doing there. You got to have the pacing for it.
You got to have the pacing, and people need to be very drunk and retarded.
Yeah, dating out there is like buying a Starbucks. You got venti, you got Trenta, you got tall, you got fat. I order a pretzel. Sometimes I get a banana bread, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I like to
there
get
you
a
go.
venti. No cream, no fat. Hold it, please. Don't want it. I'm jumping off the wall.
You know, it's
I'm
Kevin's
gay.
joke now. It's Kevin's joke now.
Yeah, it's mine now. I'm a gay guy.
But
By the way,
pay me $5 because you said I'm gay.
Oh. Is that how it works?
That's well, there's a jar in the corner there.
The I'm gay jar?
Yep.
Ah, shit.
I copyrighted that.
By the way,
I went down to the patent office and I patented saying I'm gay.
Patton Oswalt?
Well, the earliest historical records of a man saying he was gay is me on Facebook.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because there's nothing in the Bible where a character's like talking to Jesus and he goes, "Ah, man, listen, Jesus, I'm a homo.
Well, that's why I think
I'm but a sinner.
Yeah.
I'm a homosexual." never occurs in human history until, if you flash forward to 2012, old Ben Avery, he's in Abilene, Texas, and he posts on Facebook that he's gay.
Mm-hmm. And your mother was upset, as I recall, right?
Oh, I mean, people haven't been in such hysterics since the printing press was invented.
The old dial telephone, old sliced bread. Yeah, dude. I will say there have been multiple occasions where. And this happens to me a lot with a lot of different phrases where I'm about to go on stage to perform and I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to do this or whatever.
Talk about the town, the whatever something you spotted before the show.
Yeah. But phrases will pop into my head. And one of the phrases that had popped into my head a lot is, I'm gay.
Yeah.
And just to walk out and say, hey, everybody, what's going on? Hey, I'm Kevin. I'm gay.
Can you tell the folks the story about when we went up to, where did we go? We were up in the valley somewhere, and we were performing at we were doing a show at a dive bar. It was this big, giant dive bar with huge, high ceilings, and there was a stage. It was, and there were only cholos and wife beaters playing pool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
people were having rough sets.
Oh, very rough sets. Well, we did the cardinal sin of a comedy show where you surprise your audience with a comedy show,
and they go, "Ah, shit."
Yeah, they're all having a good time with their friends, playing pool, being Mexican, and like we come in and we're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you went on stage and you're like, "Hey, I'm a gay guy. I'm a big gay guy. I like to bend over backwards to lick my ass behind my balls," and then people were just like, "Man, what the fuck?" What the fuck?
But I doubled down. I just kept saying I was gay.
Yeah, and then at the end, some guy came up to me and goes, "Man, you were pretty fucked up, but you're pretty good, man. It's pretty funny. Like, I like how you were saying like you were gay."
I remember one of the cholos leaned back from he had his cue stick, and he like leaned back and he was like, "That's fucked up." But that's pretty funny, right?
No,
there.
he said that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. He's gay.
The show's like, all right, he's cool.
Yeah. No, you were the
they
only
understood
guy.
the irony of it.
You're the only guy that got him because, I mean, in that situation.
Look, I speak cholo.
You do. You go, I'm barely right now. No, dude, those are the exact shows where Ben Avery is the secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to come in where everybody's bombing, so it's like, you know, hey, we'll throw something else at him, and Ben gets on stage and tells everybody he's gay, and that's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, look,
those
comedy.
guys crip walking. A guy pulled his socks up higher. I saw.
You got to go back to basics.
Yeah.
You go on stage. The show's bad. Go on stage, hurt yourself. I've gone on stage before, and I did a front flip and landed on my back at a really bad bar show in Calabasas. And I won the crowd over by hurting myself very badly up top.
Yeah, you did a great job too. It worked.
Yep, and then I talked about the Holocaust for 8 minutes.
That was
and they carried me out on their shoulders.
That'd be so fucked up. I've had, you ever have a comic come up to you or whatever and be like, "Hey man, I remember that time you went on stage and you just fucking fell over and you hurt
when I
yourself?"
cracked the mic stand, I broke the mic stand in half that one time.
And then they're like, "Man, that was your best set. That was the best I ever seen you."
Remember
do,
you
man.
shit your pants?
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
Boot Scoot with the $4.99 says, "And he has shown you, oh man, what is good. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly, love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Micah 6:8.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah. Give it up for the King James version of the Bible. Give it up for King James.
By the way, New American Standard, more accurate than the King James.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
well, the language of the King James is beautiful, though.
It is beautiful. It's written in the style of Shakespeare, but it was written to be more flowery and beautiful than it was to be accurate. So,
well,
in case you didn't know that, I'm here to educate you.
Potato with the 5 says, "Search hot dog get stuck in donut anime."
Yes, I like this.
All right. Donut get stuck in anime?
No, hot dog gets stuck in donut.
Oh.
Hot dog stuck in donut.
Hold on. Hot dog. Oh, I think this is very graphic, by the way. Yeah, it's the cringe. Hold on, let me go back here. 12/2/08. Is he saying that's the date it was uploaded?
But
I think I know what this is. I think I know what the fuck this is. I think we've watched it before. It's incredibly graphic, and I can't watch it. I think it's this video right here. Okay, hold on.
I already know what's going to happen.
Let me see. Hot dog gets stuck in donut anime. Yeah, I think this is the lady gets on the. It's this video. It's an anime lady who gets on a. Yeah, we're not watching this. I'm not having this be like an 18 and up video.
Yeah,
sorry, potato.
This video's for kids.
I'm pretty sure that one's a no good.
Holy shit!
Moist turtleneck with the what happened?
Somebody just is that $200?
Oh no, they're from Thailand. Their currency means nothing. It's like Monopoly money.
Their currency means
Moist turtleneck with the 5 says, "Can't wait to see Will and Don as guests on the 100th ep." We have something big cooked up that we're filming next week for the 100th episode. I think you guys are gonna love it. And shout out to Moist for always being a great mod. He's always there for you. He's a beautiful, beautiful soul, and he has some great finds, man. Lev Polyakev with the 20 says, "BTR elites use ancient magic and you don't know it intro, then Cormac McCarthy's Gnosticism and origin of Moloch." BTR elites use ancient magic. BTR elites use ancient magic. BTR elites. Fuck. My keyboard gets stuck sometimes. Here we go.
Jekyll Island was this huge technocrat billionaire hangout. J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, obviously, Ford. But while we were there, we learned a little bit about the history of the natives. They were very tall, and their culture included child sacrifice. And what's really interesting, the god that they were sacrificing to was this giant owl effigy, and it was a chaos god.
This is a pretty
That's
fitting video on
9/11. Is that it's not so much that the controllers of the world are really focused on Satanism or, particularly Baal or Moloch. I think it's much more likely that they're relying on this chaos god to give them power, and they're basically taking their orders from it.
Are we talking about how we are all
Oh shit, I was on this episode. I forgot about
that
this.
We have no control over. We're going to the age of Aquarius. We're going to have this Antichrist figure. It's all going to work out like that. Or is there leeway here?
Great question. So I think at the core of that question, and it's something obviously that's really at the core of all these
subscribe to Break the Rules.
Of,
it's a great
conspiracy theories is, how much is chaos and how much is order. The idea that you write a story and that it affects the mass subconscious of the, you make something putting into the pop culture. You basically program the population's minds with these different archetypes. So it teaches them what a hero looks like, what's justified, what's a moral code, do the end justify the means? Say, what's a super cool superhero that, is going to save the whole world at the end? He might, maybe act like Elon Musk, or he doesn't get his superpowers from any divine, source or mutation. It's simply his wealth and intelligence and technology. But the people who talk about it, specifically a student of Crowley, Alan Moore, fantastic comic book writer. His stuff is absolute genius, I think, in a realm of its own. But they describe it as chaos magic. It's not like they're planning out and telling all these people to do a certain thing. By moving the subconscious in a certain direction, just by the nature of the universe, when you get into quantum physics, are you guys familiar with the two-slit experiment?
Yeah.
The idea that basically if you don't watch where the photons go, they'll act as a wave. But then if you do put something behind the two slits, it forces the waveform to collapse into a single point. I guess that's the concept, is that by influencing it with a strong cultural message, and you have that idea in a bunch of people's minds, then you can affect certain outcomes. And then on a very basic level, that's the whole idea behind predictive programming, is if you want to program people to act predictably in a certain situation, then you would present them that situation as fiction over and over again. So,
he makes
for
a good
instance,
point about the
when the
X here,
CDC
too, I think, at some
spent
point.
millions of dollars on an office to consult Hollywood to produce the movie Contagion in 2011. In the movie, they specifically they show conspiracy theorists that talk about lab leak theories of this pandemic in the movie Contagion, and how they're ridiculous and totally wrong. And it's not a bioweapon. It's just it's. They show a guy in China, a chef, chopping up a pig and a bat, and then I accidentally shook hands with somebody before washing my hands.
So when it comes to the Sigmund Freuds of the world and all of these,
so now wait, I think Lev wanted us to then know an intro, then Cormac McCarthy's Nazism and Origin of Moloch. Right here.
World controllers, are they themselves not programmed to be the programmers?
Okay, so here's a quote from All the Pretty Horses by Cormac
McCarthy.
McCarthy,
Here we go.
Which is one of his great books. My fifth favorite, though, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
For me, the world has always been more of a puppet show. But when one looks behind the curtain and traces the strings upward, he finds they terminate in the hands of yet other puppets, themselves with their own strings which trace upward and turn, and so on.
Man, I'm
in
so
my own
cringe.
life, I saw these
I hate
strings
watching
whose
myself.
origins were endless enact the deaths of great men in violence and madness, enact the ruin of a nation. Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses. Thank you very much.
Very Gnostic, if you think about it.
Bravo.
All of his work is Gnostic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know why I think it's Gnostic? Well, go ahead, Drew. You first.
So yeah, 100% I agree. And that's actually another quote by Alan Moore. He's like, yeah, the idea that everything is planned. Mind you, two of his works, specifically Watchmen and V for Vendetta, I think are two of the biggest examples of predictive programming and some of the most scarily accurate, especially given that he talks about his work being magic. He's like, yeah, it's a comforting idea that, there's people controlling everything and it's conspiracy, but it's all chaos that, results in these things. It's not really anything. To some degree, there is some puppeteering going on. Like, for instance, Werner von Braun writes the Mars Project in 1948, the same year that Elon Musk's mom is born.
Yeah,
and he
was
says
weird.
that the human Mars colony will be led by a person given the title Elon in this fictional story. He describes it as being basically a Martian technocracy. Elon Musk's grandfather was arrested in Canada for running the Technocracy Party in 1940, just 8 years previous, and the Technocracy Party was global. Obviously, they had some fanfare in Germany itself. I don't know for sure if Werner von Braun was familiar with Elon Musk's grandfather, but it was a pretty small world back then. So
that was true. It would explain why Elon Musk doesn't give a F about nothing and just has no fear, just can change Coca-Cola level logos to X and be like, hey, doing it the most known symbol, Twitter, the tweet logo. It's you're gonna change that, you have $1 billion logo. Anyways, I'm just saying, let's say you're right, just for the sake of argument, that would explain a lot of shit.
What's really interesting and what I learned
so yeah, that's what Lev wanted us to watch there, and
that's wild.
Gnosticism and Origin of. Did we watch the Origin of Moloch as well? I guess. Well, that was in the intro, right? Oh, here we go. The Origin of Moloch, right here.
Taking their orders from it.
Now, before we go any further, though, Neil, you've studied
I hope I don't
extensively
talk
all
in
these
this
different
segment.
mystery schools, all these religions.
I'm completely
Where
outmatched
exactly
by
with
these
this
guys.
particular out?
This is Gnostic Informant. He speaks like 9 languages, and this
Amazing.
True Tang Reborn guy. He followed me on Twitter, and I was like, oh, this guy's like a genius and stuff. Lev has me on because he likes Lemon Party, but I mean, I'm, this is a 2-stroke engine versus a Porsche.
You know what's so fucked?
I'm on a moped.
I've been in Hollywood too long because all I can see is just 4 straight white guys. you're giving me all these accolades. This guy can speak. Who gives a shit?
Well,
there's 4 white guys.
Lev's Ukrainian.
All deity line up in the history.
Well, you got Minerva and Athena, who are.
We also visited the Pantheon in Nashville, where they have the gigantic Athena with the owl inside.
Yeah, that's kind of like the extent of owls as gods. Like Moloch is never in the ancient, as far as ancient texts go, is not depicted as an owl. At least I've never seen it. But that kind of like takes on its own thing later on. Like, I don't know when that started, 18th, 19th century, who knows? But yeah, that's sort of a modern depiction of Moloch. Well, Moloch's more like a title for Baal. Baal and Moloch are kind of the same thing. Baal means Lord, Melech means king. So Moloch comes from that. It's a Canaanite god. It's basically one of the various Canaanite gods.
How can we differentiate him from, let's say, something like?
So yeah, that was really fucking interesting to me.
God, yeah, that is very.
I love doing Lev's show because I just learn so much, and then I have nothing to offer whatsoever. But I'm happy he has me on.
You just have your cock out, just the whole time.
In my head, when I do his show, and he had like on Brian Chow, like these like mathematic.
Did you fart into the
geniuses.
microphone a lot?
I had Joey on once, and Joey just trolled the whole thing. It was very funny. He kept like flexing, and he had a sword. But
Joey's
he has on like mathematics geniuses and stuff, and these people follow me on Twitter, and I follow them back, and the conversations they have about things, I'm like, holy fuck! They understand physics at its deepest level. They have like multiple PhDs. They're actual brilliant people who aren't just like completely full of shit.
Yes.
Trying to create some sort of cult. They actually just have a great interest and an intellect. And
a lot of people will base like their ability to speak or their willingness to speak about something on their own expertise. Where most of the people we know, it's just like as long as it's funny, we don't really give a shit at all.
Sure,
like
that's what. Do not lean upon your own understanding, Kevin. You know what you need to lean on? You just need to lean on me.
Oh, I will.
And then let me take that belt off while you're leaning on me, and let me nuzzle your neck with.
Dude, I'll put my nose in your neck.
I just shaved. I do not have whiskers that will scratch.
By the way, you know what? A great thing to do if you have a friend who has like a spouse.
I'm listening.
You fuck them.
Interesting, folks. Try that one out at home.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But everyone follow Break the Rules. Lev runs a great show. Rob with the $4.99. He's one of the good ones. Rob with the $4.99 says, Benjamin, have you seen We're Costco Guys by Meat Canyon yet? Very good. No, I haven't. But I think we played a Meat Canyon video once, and I think we got copyright striked. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure. So I'm trying to stay. I'll watch a little bit of it. Maybe we won't get in trouble. Meat Canyon is great. I reached out to him because his clip about Bert Kreischer made me laugh so hard, and it was going viral, and I think they deleted it. Let me see if it's such a funny podcast clip, and I think he deleted it because it was going so viral. He felt bad about it. He doesn't have it up anymore. Fuck, it was so funny. Bert Kreischer, Meat Canyon, the machine. He was on this podcast and he goes, fuck, if I have to hear this machine, he goes, you know this guy Bert Kreischer, if I have to hear this machine story one more time, I'm gonna fucking blow my head off. It was so funny.
Dude, his animation's great. My kids watch his stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how he had he seems to drink a lot of alcohol, and he seems to be just a workaholic, and he must have a team of people, and they're creating amazing stuff. Here's the We're Costco Guys right here.
Fuck yeah.
We're Costco Guys! Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake!
Well, Costco guys, of course we have to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
He should have had me do the voice. Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yeah.
That was great, Dad. I love Costco. I'm gonna try and work here when I'm older. Get an even better discount.
You know we live for the discount, son. I gotta show you something new Costco has. It's way in the back.
Sure. What is it?
You'll find out, son.
Oh, wow. I've never been back here before. Oh no. What is this?
All right, so you're giving away one child. Yeah, one kid. Okay, that upgrades your membership card for another 10% on cash rebates. Here you go. Oh, yeah. That's a bull, baby.
Oh, he's a big bull. Dad, come here. This is some kind of joke.
No, hold him. Lift with your legs.
What is this? Daddy!
Set it down. Long day. Now move this pallet over here.
Go more in the back. Oh, yeah, you're good to go. Close it. Veo a algunos hombres. Creo que nos están apuntando. Quizás nosotros somos los siguientes. No dejaré que te lleven, te lo prometo. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what you're saying. Everything will be okay. Aléjate, no te acerques. No. Oh, God. No. Wait, don't close it.
It's like Breaking Bad.
Damn it, Mikey.
Hey! Help me! Help!
I wonder if he's... My prediction is he's going to get turned into a chicken bake and then his dad eats him. That's my prediction. Like, it's a come full circle sort of thing.
I like that.
This is very good. Very, very good.
Ini seharusnya ketiga. Menurutku ini dia.
Oh Tuhan, lihatlah dia. Babi kecil ini terlihat super. Dia akan baik-baik saja. Kita akan melatihnya dengan baik.
Double chocolate cookie. Yes, the saggy skin gets fluffed all the way.
Jangan malas-malasan. Balik kerja, dasar malas. Sini kacangnya.
Let me call my wife, please. I have to use the restroom.
Sekarang cepat. Kita harus penuhi kuota.
Hei Ahmad, kamu harus kesini. Ini sangat lucu. Lihat seberapa besar kue ini.
Oh, kuenya besar banget ya.
This double chocolate cookie is a boom. Isn't that right?
Lihat, gimana tuh sama dia?
Ya ampun, ada apa dengan yang kecil
Lucu
itu?
banget ini
Kenapa
orang.
dia terlihat seperti itu?
That's so good.
Body cam footage reveals. Oh God.
That was sick.
That was great.
That was really good.
Dude, that guy. That's amazing. The art style is so good. It reminds me of Ren and Stimpy.
Jake DeJeanot with the $4.99 says that's guy's joke would have gotten a golden ticket on Kill Tony.
That's right.
Dylan right. Farnham. Oh yeah, dude, you would have been on Rogan. Dylan, you got to move to Austin. You got to sign up. You got to become one of the 250. Let's see here. Martine with the Thailand 200 says, search Slag Saint, the streetwalker with red braids. You played his stand-up before, but I promised to help his singing career. He got real talent. Please be nice. He's a big LP fan. Okay, Slag Saint, the streetwalker with red braids. Okay, here we go. Here we are.
You know what? Recently, I offered a girl money for sex. Only she wasn't a prostitute. Oh wow, was I ever in trouble? I wrote a song about it. It's called Streetwalker with Red Braids. Goes like this. For anyone in the world, I've something to say to a street walking girl, the one with red braids, the scowl on her face is all I need to know. Love goes to waste when the answer is no. It's a love song that no one I'll ever know. Realize I'm so done. I wanna be alone. I would've let you use
I like it.
I even could have paid.
It's like Daniel Johnson if he didn't die on lithium.
You turned me down today.
This is Daniel Johnson if he worked at Quiznos instead of McDonald's.
World, I've something to say to that street walking girl, the one with red braids.
Wow,
That's good. Yeah,
that was great.
That was it was endearing.
It was so.
You feel the pain in his voice.
A lot of pain in his voice. You could really feel it. I would also encourage him as a sound wise.
Oh, maybe get a microphone.
Yeah, a microphone, and turn off that compression. You know, you don't need to. It's got one of those limiters
where people can't tell you live under an overpass.
Yeah. So every time you talk, it's like shh, shh, but then it's quiet in between.
War Machine 655 with the 10 says, "Watch Nick O. Dick from The Whitest Kids You Know. A great stream for 9/11." Okay,
dude, Whitest Kids You Know.
I know. I love when they
funny.
suggest we watch Whitest Kids You Know sketch. There's a lot I haven't seen. Here we go. Queuing this up.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who've quit smoking only to find yourself addicted to nicotine delivery products like the patch, the gum, or lozenge? Nicotine substitutes like these give you no incentive to quit.
I go through 8 to 10 of these a day. I feel like I consume more nicotine now than when I used to smoke. I need something to help me kick these things fast.
Now there is help. Try new Nicodic, the nicotine delivery device that will ensure you use it as little as humanly possible. Nicodic's patented delivery system works great. Simply insert the unit in your mouth and slide it in and out until you activate the nicotine release.
It works. I truly hate using this product.
I used to smoke because it was cool, but this is so not cool.
Shame your way to health with this cutting-edge new product.
This is ridiculous.
Nicodic comes in various shapes and girths, ranging from whoa mama to there's no way I'm fitting that in there.
What is it, broken?
Each Nicodic comes with a free set of replacement Nicoballs. Order today.
Thank you, Nicodic. I mean, you, but thanks. Oh, why do they make him smell so bad?
Classic. Hey, Kev, can you hold down the fort real quick while I drain the dragon, while I hit the head?
Yeah, I'd like to. That sketch really brings up the idea of why is it funny to be gay? You know?
It's not.
I thought that. I didn't see the humor in it at all. You know, I watched that sketch. I thought it seems like a great nicotine delivery system, and those boys shouldn't be ashamed at all. And I think, you know, there should be more products like this that allows you to embrace what you want to do anyway. And, you know, give you the nicotine you want. I've been sucking on a little Nick Dick myself for a very long time. And I can't get off of it, and I like it. And I love that throat hit that you get from it. You know what I mean? From these vapes. It's pretty good. Hitting it up hard, folks.
Hey, you need another C4?
Yeah, grab me another C4. Might as well. Keep it going. Got to stay pumped. By the way, my wife's called me 12 times.
Why don't you go take the call?
Nah, I just sent her a voicemail. She'll be fine. She gets to hear my voice on the voicemail anyway. Oh, I think that mic is actually on.
Yeah, it is. Let me hold on. Let me see which mic it is. It's the third one.
That was a very quick piss, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a solid.
Thank you.
Solid piss.
What if I told you I came and shit?
I wouldn't believe you. I know what that sounds like. I shit every time I come. My wife hates it.
Yeah.
And she always thinks I'm about to, sometimes I'll be like, I've kind of got like erectile dysfunction of the asshole. You know what I mean? Premature shitulation.
Unfortunately, I guess they're tethered for whatever reason within your body, but
what is?
Your asshole and your prostate, I guess.
Oh yeah, they're up there. They're all up in there.
Register. Just thank the Lord God you don't come shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And that you come, because it could be worse. I've seen things on IFC. Registered sex offender just said, just wanted to say hi and God bless you and the fam. Thank you, buddy. That's very funny.
Registered sex offender.
I can't believe YouTube allows that. Jake from Stout Farm with the 5 says, I bought the new anime t-shirt, just wondering what slur is written in Japanese on it. Will black people who speak Japanese be offended? Jace chose what the typography would say. I forget what he said it was, but I think you should be able to copy paste it and figure it out. I forget what it is, but I don't think it's offensive. I can't remember. Bus Cole with the 5 says, happy anniversary, Dylan Farnham. What a great day to get hitched. Happy 9/11, Kevin. LOL, that rhymes. Ben, I hate hearing myself too, was in musicals / plays. That's so funny that Bus Cole was
in plays and musicals.
I would love to see him on Broadway.
Yeah,
and maybe that's his real name is Bus Cole. I'd love to see him. Hey, Bus Cole. If one day maybe you can pin the stage play of my life and you can play me and I'll direct the play. How does that sound? Bus Cole goes up in a big diaper to start the show.
Yeah, and
he's smoking cigarettes.
Cut to black, and then you come out. I'm gay.
Hey.
I'm not. Oh, I'm gay.
5, 6, 7, 1488.
69, 429, 11.
You could go through all the moments in my life that are very significant. Me finding out what Hitler is, me finding out what diapers are, me
putting together that you can come in a diaper,
learning about poop, learning about pee, learning about gay, learning about all the different things. The play could be very short, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's a 4-minute play.
Did I ever tell you what I wrote in my will about if I ever have to wear diapers?
No, what is it?
So I've already purchased it, but it's it looks like kind of like a G.I. Joe's underwear. It's basically clear plastic diapers, so I can just shit and piss in there, and then because the big problem with diapers is when you shit in them, people don't always know that there's shit in them because you can't see it.
Oh, I like that. It's like those clear backpacks they had after Columbine, so you knew if there was a handgun in there. I like that.
So I wear a clear diaper, when I'm invalid and I'm in the home. I think it's important, and I'm excited about it.
This is from Drew Klein, $4.99. Sorry, it's in shorts form. Tow truck, road rage, Brookline, NYC, white on white crime, WAP to Wigger. Okay, here we go.
It's got all my favorite catchphrases in it.
I'm guessing he means Brooklyn.
Put the truck down. Put the fucking truck down. Get the fuck out. Get that fucking truck down. I'm warning you, motherfucker. Get the fuck away from this truck. Get the fuck out.
What?
Oh, that's so good.
Holy shit. He just fucked up every car on that street.
It's Brian Redband.
You stole my truck. That's crazy. Call the police, man.
Oh, he just took off.
Goddamn.
The adrenaline was going. It happened.
It happens. It happens, he says.
Hey, it just happens sometimes. Dude, my buddy used to drive recovery tow trucks for people who didn't pay. The repo guy. He used to be a
the
repo
repo
guy.
man.
Yeah, dude. He
I love the archetype of the repo man.
Dude, he told me all kinds of stories about having to sneak onto people's properties and like steal their car from them, and like it's what a bullshit job, like a horrible job. But
yeah,
somebody's got to do it.
I'd like to be a repo man, but for like fleshlights or something like that. Like you can't afford the payments on your.
Oh, they're saying repo, not rapo.
Well, I mean, there's got to be, because everything now there's a payment plan.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a guy out there that's making a payment plan on a big blowjob machine, and I knock on the door.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, is this the residence of fucking Edward
Dick McGee?
Scissors?
Yeah. Well, dude, honestly, if anybody needs a blowjob machine, it's Edward Scissorhands.
That's true.
He can't jack off.
Well, Edward Scissorhands, he.
Did you ever see?
He couldn't even hit the cord though.
The
well,
cord?
I mean, he'd be slicing. I'm having a fucking Charlie horse because I'm dehydrated. I haven't had much food today.
Stand up, dude. Stretch out. You know? Stretch your ass out. Your ass out.
Dude, eating less food is like it's been easy, but now my body is it's detoxing off the Mickey D's.
Oh,
and
you
I put
think so?
electrolytes in here in my water, and I've had about 80 ounces since we started.
You sure you didn't put electro heavies in there?
I wish I fucking had 8. Very good, Kevin. Very good. Very good. I'm gonna keep him on a leash for the rest of the stream now. I don't have a phone to order food, and I'm very hungry, but we're gonna do one more hour, and I think that's why I'm having cramps in my legs.
Let's go get some.
It's funny, as soon as I start talking about blowjob machines, my leg cramps up.
Oh yeah, well your body, it automatically goes into muscle memory.
Yes,
and
that's right.
When you're on your
Kevin.
knees for as long as you are, when you're down there, replicating the blowjob machine, you will cramp up. So I've been there. Did you ever see Tim Burton's director's cut of Edward Scissorhands?
No, how much longer is it, or is it shorter?
No, it's just
usually longer.
There's an extra 5-minute scene where it's Edward as a teenager, and he's trying to jack off, and he ends up cutting his dick off, and then the creator, his father, he comes in with a new dick for Edward Scissorhands, but it's just a fucking cookie. And he's like, this ain't gonna work. And then he, so that's the other told thing, that a lot of the storyline in Edward Scissorhands doesn't make sense unless you realize that he chopped his own cock off because he was trying to jack off.
Because Winona Ryder's tits are so big, it doesn't make sense she wants to fuck him.
They're so great. They're the best. And he can't even touch them. You know what I mean? He has to use his feet, which is also, there's a big foot fetish scene in there where he's trying to jack himself off with his own feet, which is very difficult.
Yeah, that is just, But that's why a guy like Tim Burton, he doesn't, he's not up to snuff. He's a demented guy, and I'm more of a Tim Pool guy myself.
Oh yeah, Tim Burton more like Tim Squirtin'. You know what I mean?
Edward. It was always funny to me. His name was Edward.
Yeah,
Edward.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
You know what's funny, by the way, is I always love the scene where he makes all the bushes and the trees, and he shapes them into dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think about that all the time for some reason, that scene. Like, I'll think about it a few times a year. It'll pop into my head.
It's a great scene.
That's the scene I remember the most, is just him with his beautiful creations. I guess it's Tim Burton's interpretation of the Elephant Man. Like, it's his version of it, right? Or Frankenstein, maybe. The whole city's sort of revolting against this one monster.
Yeah, I wonder.
You think Harvey Weinstein watches Edward Scissorhands in prison and he relates?
Yeah, probably.
He probably does.
I mean, I'll yes and that. I think so.
Pretty anti-Semitic that they threw him in jail, I think.
That's anti-Semitic?
You can't just because a guy was running Hollywood for as long as he was,
Edward Scissorstein.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Dude,
Edward Yarmulke Hands.
A great movie, Edward Scissoring Hands, where he has two women for hands.
I like that.
And
he has
then
you mean he has two pussies with women's legs, and he makes them do this?
Yeah, he has to make them scissor. And there's also a scene in there where
I'm quickly becoming very delirious. I've only had 2 eggs and an avocado today.
He also you should switch. Oh, or is it actually it's on us? Okay.
Yeah. I wish I could order food right now, but my phone's fucking dead. And fuck.
Well,
we got another hour to go, and I'm feeling really lightheaded now. We're gonna power through it though, because it's the 9/11 Supercast.
You sure you're not feeling heavy-headed? Because you're fat?
I've lost weight, goddammit. The fat jokes don't work anymore.
Everybody
told me how good I look.
Me, dude. You should probably get in better shape like me.
Look at the people. Look, I've lost the weight. I've lost a lot of it here. You can see I'm not. You see, it's gone in my face.
Yeah, you're looking. I'm
looking good. My goal weight is whatever Red Bar weighs.
Oh yeah. How much does he weigh?
I don't know. He's very thin though.
Very thin. Yeah,
those glasses will slide right off of his face.
No good. That guy, I think he should change his name to Blue Bar or something. Bar. Or he should go to a bar.
Folks, we're going to take that again.
Okay, he should Red Bar, more Red Band, Red. He should go to the bar.
Do you like him? I like him a lot.
I don't even know. I don't know anything about him.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. I really don't. I
forget when I talk to you often. You're swimming in uncharted territory for yourself.
Oh yes.
Where you'll yes and something and you have no idea what I'm talking about at all.
Absolutely. And the thing that I love about Lemon Party now is that you have an audience that knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And on Brain Jail, a lot of times you'd bring stuff up, and I'm thinking there's no fucking way anybody has any clue what this guy's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they do. There's some people. It's just me. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
what you're
apparently
talking
people are on the internet.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, but
what I love about you is you completely sort of unplug from reality. You play Dark Souls all day.
I play Path of Exile.
Oh, you're on Path of Exile now.
Oh yeah, Dark Souls. I go into Dark Souls. I mean, I have my little my stints. I mean, it's really a crackhead's
There was a
dilemma.
Video games turn you into a crackhead. I remember in my garage.
Yeah.
I set up a whole gaming system where you got really into Red Dead Redemption. 2.
Beat the whole game.
And at one point, Katie woke up at like 7 a.m. and was leaving for work, and we had all gone to bed, and she she went in the garage, and you were still there playing video games at 7 a.m. and she was going to work.
Yep. No, that was.
I think you said you got home and your wife was like, "This is." You can't do this. This is crazy. You came home at like 9 a.m. from playing video games.
No. I mean, I had to take the kids to school, I believe. So I literally
gaming all night in my garage.
Yeah,
and I even went to bed at like 1:30.
Well, and that was the time that I was quitting weed too. I was quitting weed and everything at that point. So I was like, I was really, and I hadn't fallen in love with a game in forever. And that was literally the beginning of the end for
you
video
getting back into gaming.
Yeah, dude, and I haven't gotten out since.
I had a stint where when I moved to Austin for a short stint, I got really into gaming there. I was kind of isolated, didn't really have like friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got into, have you seen this game? I want to show you this. This was one of my favorite games, man. I couldn't recommend this enough. I loved this game.
Oh, yeah, it's a great game.
This. Oh, are they making another one? It was. No, they're not.
Yeah, Little Light Nightmares is a great game.
There's two of them. They're both
Peggy
great.
16.
I love this game. You play as this little girl named Seven, who's like navigating a nightmare.
Yeah, my kids did a playthrough on this one.
Oh, they did? It's kind of scary.
It's very scary, yeah.
I mean, not to sound like a pussy, but...
No, I mean, my kids, they love scary stuff.
Have they seen your act?
That's why they love me. They love me so much.
Yeah, I love this game. And then the other game I really got into is this. Oh, fuck, come on. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This game, Life is Strange. Have you played this?
No.
You get to play it. It's very. It was the queerest thing I've probably ever done. Was play. I played all 3 of these. The third one sucked so much ass. And then the other thing I got into was Detroit.
Yeah, I knew you.
Become Human.
Yes.
This game, I loved this.
It's a great game.
And then the other one was, and I empathize with robots. I often don't empathize with other races, but
robots.
The robots I shed many tears for.
Mm-hmm.
The other game was obviously Warzone, which we played a lot, but trying to think of the other one that I got really into. This game. Fuck, this was so good, and I was late to the game on this.
Great.
Falling Rain video game. Isn't it? Or is it called Heavy Rain?
Heavy Rain.
I think I'm a retard.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm a retard, aren't I?
Yep. It's Heavy Rain.
Yeah, this was it.
Very
Fuck, it was so good. It's so funny because I like these games and then I like shoot 'em ups.
Yeah.
That's I like battle royale and I like gay like cinematic games where it's like a novel and shit. And I get to be like a girl in high school or something, or like some sort of like insufferable detective.
Manson, page 27, Dingle.
Yeah, it was
Ethan Moss.
fun as shit. I loved it.
Yeah, dude.
And then you bought me Dark Souls for my birthday, and I tried to get into it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I love Dark Souls because
Dylan Farda with the 5 says, "Good night, all. Your reaction to my joke was far crueler than anything you could say, by the way. Also, I'll be dropping an hour video I made on Skinhead soon. Oh, we can't wait for that. We're waiting with bated breath."
Thanks, Dylan.
That's
Sorry.
beautiful. No, I didn't think it was a bad joke. I think it was a good traditional stand-up joke.
Yeah, I would. Yes, absolutely.
I didn't have any problem with it.
I would throw another tag on there.
Dylan would probably be a good stand-up, by the way, especially because he's so hateful and animated. And one of the keys to the stand-ups I really like is they really just don't care.
Yes. Yeah. Not caring is a huge value.
Dylan would walk up there and just not give a fuck.
Yeah, because you can fail for longer, which it takes a lot of failure.
That's right.
To be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not caring is important. I care. I do care, and that can be a real detriment sometimes.
Now you're about to make a case for Dark Souls, and this is kind of fun for people because we don't really have video game chats.
Well, Dark Souls, I like Dark Souls. I literally got into Dark Souls because I wanted to look at. I was looking up the most difficult video game to play, and that was one of them. And I started playing it, and I played through all the series. I never did some of the other Souls games that they had out there. Demon Souls, which was. I think one of their earlier games. I never got into that one, but I got into all the other ones. And then when I got into Path of Exile, it all went downhill because the game is so fucking complicated. But it was the same. It was the same logic of me being like, "Oh, this is the most difficult thing to do. I'll fucking do it." And I don't know why my brain does that, but it does.
Now, do you watch any of the streamers? Because I know your son does, right? Do you watch the streamers with him, like Jinxie?
Oh, no, not him. But I've definitely watched
Twitch. What's his name?
I watch
Glitch.
I watch a lot of Twitch.
No, there's a guy named Twitch or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know about him.
He's the guy that he blinks and he flaps like a bird when he makes a touchdown.
I don't know him.
Oh, okay.
Is he the little person?
No, he's just a guy who has like glasses like this and fuck, what's his name? Pop. I'll just type in Pop. Unless the chat is saying it right now, I'm sure someone is. Streamer Eagle Dance. Surely that will pop up something. Nope, it's not. I really don't know what to type in. Honestly, he does stuff.
GYNXZI.
No, not him.
Or JY.
He's fuck. He even did like Theo Von's podcast and shit, but I can't remember his fucking name because I'm not 14 years old.
Yeah.
I think his name is Twitch, but that doesn't make sense because that's the platform.
Yeah, it might be, though. No, the only Twitch guy I watch regularly is this guy named Cute Dog, who is absolutely fucking unhinged.
Cute Dog?
Yes. He reminds me of you.
His name's Sketch.
Sketch.
This is his name right here. Sketch is his name. I was close.
He looks like a nice guy.
I'll show you Sketch best of. Here you go. Here.
Sketch counter. Meat on meat here. Get busy. Where are you? Come on. Oh, yeah!
This is the offense I needed to see. This is the offense I needed to see.
He pisses on his...
Sketch, I don't know how much
He'll
marijuana
piss on
is
his
in
chair.
your system right now, but drink a fucking water and lock in.
Literally not enough.
You're gonna lose to a level 5, Sketch.
Come on, Sketch. Look at me on my last leg. It's okay. It's okay. Call me James Bond.
Sketch, I love you.
007.
Sketch, I love you, Sketch.
I'm 001.
See, but
That's him.
Sketch, but now
And
Sketch,
people love
see?
Sketch.
Now we're gonna
He's
win,
an
bro.
overnight
Play like
sensation.
that, bro. That's
Good
how
for
we're gonna
him.
win, Sketch. Good fucking
He
shit,
pisses
brother.
in his chair.
Sketch.
You see what happens when you give me a
Dog.
little bit of freedom? I'm a
No,
pit
Cute.
bull.
Oh, Sketch Dog. Yeah.
Here we go.
You know what to do.
Yep, I know what to do. Here, give it to. Oh yeah, I love that Sketch.
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
All I do is share. All I do is care.
This is the Sketch that I absolutely love. This is
Crawling
the
around
Sketch
like a
that if I
dog.
saw a person, I'd grab you by the cheeks and I'd give you a wet, slobbery kiss.
I must be muted. He must have gone into hiding. Oh, I love that. I love when he does that. Check. Nose film studied. Look at this. Blue 42. Blue 42. Stack meat on meat.
Oh, the sneak. It's Hurts. And he's in. Touchdown. Eagles. Jalen Hurts.
Dude, I get it.
Yeah, it's good shit.
I like this guy. Yeah. No, this guy Cute Dog is very
Cute Dog?
Cute Dog. He's
Cute
very
Dog streamer.
He's very brain rot. You would love him. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I have no.
Which one is he?
He's the fourth one.
This one here?
Yeah. I have no idea what this is.
How do I know Chinese? Well, okay, hold on, guys. Hold on, let's go to full screen mode here. I don't want to give you the answer. I want to teach you how to fish. But look at the monitor right now.
Your son is he's susceptible to this Chinese propaganda.
How do you think I know Chinese, buddy?
No, he some of the shit that he says on his stream is absolutely wild about being a pedophile shit and like all the Pizzagate, like all the black pill.
No, so this is but this is what the people came for. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. I'm feeling faint. We have to talk more about 9/11 today.
You're right.
We really
You're
should.
absolutely right.
Here we go, folks. This is we're going in for the big close here. 9/11, the new Pearl Harbor. This is the mother of all pearls right here. Here we go. 9/11, the new Pearl Harbor. This is the great one right here.
Almost 5 hours.
And I think might just be like part one. It's like
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'll play you some
The
of my
external
favorite
ring
stuff.
had already been circulating among the top ranks of the military. Report only one mention on the
came almost like an artillery shell or a tank round.
almost 6 minutes the passengers had been unable to enter the cockpit. Why didn't
Let me find some of my favorite spots.
To open the door on the 34th floor.
Thirdly, after the 1993 attack, bomb sniffing.
The full movie. No, I'm just gonna have to go through and find some of the.
At 30 single piece.
You know, a
of
lot
debris.
of different countries did their own investigations into 9/11
Yeah.
because stuff wasn't adding up. From Japan to China to a lot of different countries.
Well, let's get into it. I mean, what
okay, let's talk about CC Lyles. This is a fun one.
Means the communication lasted feet kept that connection open for all that time.
Here we go.
Had the call.
Here we go. This is the cell phone stuff, which is really interesting to me. A lot of people say I'm a dipshit for buying
is the one
this.
used
But
in the United States. 3 cell phones, each from
see,
different
they're all
telephone
running tests with the cell phones. It doesn't add up.
If those were military...
Part 3,
Wait,
the
so
airplanes. What happened to the passengers?
How does it not add up? I don't understand what the
Larry
cell phone-
drones.
You'll see,
And
because
okay.
of the cell phone towers and the altitude. By the way, when is the last time you took a flight and made a call?
Yeah.
Not regular
been a while.
airliners. What happened?
Have you been way up in the air and made a call on your cell phone?
No.
Yeah.
The passengers.
And there, by the
never
way,
tried,
we'll go into this. There are planes. There were more phones on planes then, but still, some people are calling from cell phones.
Certainty,
But regardless,
no one can
here
answer
we
this
go.
question. One thing we do know, however, the CIA has been developing plans for covert operations that involve the in-flight swapping of commercial airliners with military drones since the 1960s. One such plan was called Operation Northwoods, and it detailed how
This
to
is
replace
this is my favorite stretch of the documentary here. So this is what we'll be
drone
discussing.
in midair, unbeknownst to the air traffic controllers. After the swap, the airliner would be landed in a military base. The drone would continue to fly,
And
appearing
that aircraft might have been diverted to Arizona. Actually, there's an Air Force base over there that they say might have the plane.
on radar as the original
Very
plane
interesting.
and would be remotely guided all the way into the target. We don't know whether this
Folks,
is the
this
actual
just
end
got
the
exciting.
passengers met, but one thing we can say for sure. Those who called their relatives from their cell phones could not have placed those calls from the airplanes in flight.
Here we go.
Minutes after the fourth plane had crashed in
Cell phone
Pennsylvania,
calls. The cell phone calls. This is what we're getting into right here. You ready?
This is the
You
juice.
ready, Kev? Here we
news was
go.
already circulating that several passengers
Kevin, if you're not high, you're about to be.
had made calls with their cell
I'm not
phones
telling
from
you.
the hijacked
Oh, you have the pen.
airplanes.
We are being
The Benjamin.
hijacked. We are being hijacked. Those frightening words were uttered by a passenger aboard United Flight 93 who was able to call emergency personnel on his cell phone before the plane crashed in western Pennsylvania.
And tonight we're getting reports of cell phone calls from at least 3 of those 4 flights. On the second flight that came out of Boston, that was the second flight of the day and also went into one of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, there was a businessman who got off 2 cell phone calls to his father.
CNN commentator Barbara Olson, wife of U.S. Solicitor General Ted Olson. She reportedly called her husband twice on a mobile phone to tell him her plane was being hijacked.
The problem is that in 2001, it was practically impossible to make a call with a cell phone from an airplane at cruising altitudes. The whole idea behind cellular phones is that they use low power transmitters, both to keep the cost of the units down and to preserve battery life. It is up to the receiving towers on the ground to pick up and boost their signal before they route it through the system. It is commonly thought that beyond 10,000 feet in altitude, most cell phones become useless. Passenger planes normally...
Pause it real quick just to check on the, see if we get any chats coming in. Six Figure with the 5 says, "Hey Kevin, what builds have you been playing for King's March League? Also, laugh out loud that you're a cute dog viewer. He's such a meme lord."
Yeah, he is. Well, let me answer this.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Right now, my friend, I'm playing.
And then we'll get right back to the conspiracy stuff.
Yeah. Right now, I'm playing. I'm playing a Flicker Strike build, which has been a lot of fun, and of course the meta, which is of course Lightning Strike.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's the Melee League, baby. So I've been getting after it. I've been sending out those shipments, and getting my.
Where else are you going to get
mirror shards.
VIP access to Kevin Tinkin with these questions about his personal life?
That's right. Yeah, no, Flicker Strike's been great, but the Lightning Strike Warden is much max block is dynamite.
cruise at 30,000 feet and beyond.
Here we go.
The editors of Popular
Here, I'm gonna
Mechanic
rewind
normally
that for
put
the
10,000
people
feet
that are a little
signal
slow.
before they route it through the system. It is commonly thought that beyond 10,000 feet in altitude, most cell phones become useless. Passenger planes normally cruise at 30,000 feet and beyond. The editors of Popular Mechanics, however, maintain that cell phones do work from cruising airplanes, even at maximum altitudes.
David Dunbar.
With regard to the cell phones, we did what any reporter would do. We talked to experts in the field, and in fact, cell phones do work at that altitude, up to 35,000 feet and higher. And In 2001? In 2001, and it might be instructive for you to talk to some of the cell phone experts.
Instead of talking to experts, Japanese television decided to take matters into their own hands. In 2003, they conducted an on-camera experiment near Ontario, Canada, to verify the actual reach of cell phones from different altitudes.
The cellular phone system used in the experiment in Canada is the one used in the United States. 3 cell phones, each from different telephone companies,
Watch
were
them
used.
conduct these tests.
The experiment begins at 1,000 feet.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling from cell phone A.
The Japanese are all over
The
it.
results were the same with
They
the
have
other
a
two.
good nose for
Next,
bullshit.
we went up to 4,000 feet.
Well, somebody else.
They
Then-
love shit.
This Canadians?
Not on me.
Company B's phone stopped working at 4,000 feet. And when the aircraft rose to 6,000 feet, Company A's phone also became useless. At 8,000 feet, none of the 3 cell phones worked anymore.
No service on A, no service on B, no service on C.
In other words, at an altitude of 35,000 feet, cell phones would have been totally useless.
There is another problem
Well, see, because
besides altitude
that's
that makes
because
calling from
they weren't using a reliable network like T-Mobile.
That
Yeah.
should be an ad for T-Mobile.
Dude, yeah, T-Mobile, the only cell phone provider that would allow victims to call home to their loved ones during the 9/11 attacks. At T-Mobile, you can call during a hijacking.
T-Mobile, let's roll.
Let's roll.
a cell phone unthinkable from a cruising airplane, and that
Walmart
is
should have
speed.
ran with that, where they play the let's roll thing, and they turned it let's roll. Back those prices.
Calling from an aircraft with a cell phone would be like calling from a car traveling at 500 miles per hour. The connection would continuously need to be transferred from one receiving station to the next, and then to the next, and again to the next. The transfer procedure between 2 receiving stations is called handoff, and it relies on continuous triangulations between the receiving towers. in
This
order
happens
to
when you're on a
establish the
road
exact
trip. It
position of the
slingshots
caller.
from one thing to
As the
another.
mobile unit
Can you pause it real
approaches the
quick?
Yeah,
handoff
so
zone.
this is really interesting. Go ahead.
So my buddy, who I worked with at T-Mobile for several years,
Muhammad Atta.
He became a FBI special agent.
Really?
Yes, and his office that he worked in was not too far from the T-Mobile that we worked at together. And so we would go have lunch periodically. Well, one day we had lunch at the Chipotle in Fig Garden Village, right where I used to work. And he came back to the back, and he goes, "Hey, check this out." And he logs into a website that is tracking his sister's cell phone.
And this is what year?
This is in 2006, 2007. And he's going, "Look, there's my sister right there. She's on this highway." And he's like laughing about it. And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, hold on, I'm going to call her." And he calls her. He goes, "Hey, we noticed you're over by, this turnout on Highway X or whatever." And she's like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, he's laughing, he hangs up. But like, dude, that the triangulate. First off, the fact that was possible, that he could just randomly track anybody's phone, is insane.
Yeah. We take that for granted now.
Yes.
Because of the Track My iPhone.
Yeah. But that was wild. You could just plug in any phone number on a computer that was in the back office of this T-Mobile. And
I've been tracking my wife's phone, by the way. She keeps going down to Compton and for a couple hours and then coming back up. She comes back smelling funny. Anyway, continue.
Interesting.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. But,
smelling like fish?
I think I might hire a PI.
A penis investigator?
Yeah. So what does the guy say?
So, I can say I actually had to testify in court. This is true. I'm not doing a bit. I had to testify in court about triangulation, and whatnot. And what they're saying in this is true about if it has to triangulate. So the handoff, it would constantly be losing that. And I never even put 2 and 2 together that makes total sense in the 9/11 scenario.
Oh yeah,
but
it all
comes around.
It does. The only testifying this guy's doing now is in a food court.
The first tower senses the weakening of the signal and prepares to transfer the call to the second.
So watch this, the handoff
When the second
zone,
tower
Kev.
senses the signal is strong enough to take over, the handoff procedure is initiated. If everything
you
goes
keeping an
well,
eye on the chat, Kev? Is everything okay?
Oh yeah. I'm just I keep distracting from the video.
No, it's fine.
Well,
yeah, I don't have my phone's fucking dead. So.
HD Nero says Figure and Village is nice. Shout out, dude. Yeah, he knows it. It's very nice.
Very good.
But the speed by which an airplane approaches
so watch
and crosses
this, Kev.
over
So when
the
it's flying
handoff
at
zone
500
is
miles
so
per
high
hour
that the towers wouldn't have the time to complete the handoff procedure. The call would be dropped, and the person would need to dial the number from scratch. If one considers the altitude and the speed problems combined, it should be clear that the chances of having an actual conversation with a cell phone from a cruising airplane are practically nil. Even after 2001, both altitude and speed problems remain. In 2005, the Washington Post wrote, "Most cell phones can't reach a station from beyond 10,000 feet. Another technical hurdle is to find a way that cell phone calls would be handed off from one cell tower to another on the ground when an aircraft is traveling at 500 miles an hour." And even 10 years after 9/11, people who try to use their cell phone from cruising altitudes are bound to get the same results. Once it became clear that the passengers could not have placed their calls from the cell phones on the airplanes, the official narrative on this issue became more and more ambiguous and non-committal. Theodore Olson, who had initially told the press he had received 2 cell phone calls from his wife Barbara, changed his story to calls made from an airphone. And by the time the 9/11...
Hey, I just want to say real quick, it's 9/11. So you better make a wish.
Commission published their final report, only one mention on the cell phone calls
Oh,
remained.
you know what's funny? I looked down at my digital watch and it said 9/11. But that's the date. It's 7:21 right now.
It's like, it's not 9/11.
But
it is 9/11.
every second on 9/11 you have to make a wish.
You never forget.
Shortly thereafter, wrote the commission, passengers and flight crew began a series of calls from GTA airphones and cellular phones. No indication on which calls were made from cell phones and which ones with airphones was given. The authorities from the Moussaoui trial also
He looks like a
avoided
nice
being
guy.
too specific on the origin of the calls.
I'd let him,
Within the official
babysit my,
documentation, they released this flash animation, which contains all the basic information on the 4 hijacked airplanes. By clicking on any of the flights, one can view the passengers list. By clicking on the telephone icon at the bottom, the passengers who have made phone calls are highlighted. And by clicking on any of the passengers' names, the list of the calls they have made is displayed. Each of the calls lists the exact time it was placed, the duration,
A guy
the
calls a
initial
phone
part of
sex
the number
hotline.
dialed, and the name of the person receiving the call.
1-800
But the
thick
number
hog.
from which the phone call was
Thick hog.
placed is missing. The only information available is the location on the plane the calls were presumably made from, row 30 in this case. It's as if the authorities were trying to suggest that the calls were made from airphones without having to put it down on paper. Only in 2 cases did the authorities openly state that a cell phone was used. One is the call allegedly placed to 911 by a passenger who had locked himself in a lavatory where airphones are not available. The second is a call placed by flight attendant C.C. Lyles
C.C.
to her
Lyles.
husband, who later described his
frame.
surprise in receiving
You'll
a call
hear
from
her.
her cell phone in a television interview.
Once the phone got disconnected, then I sat up in the bed like it was like I just woke up. I'm like, was that
You'll
a real
hear her
call?
say it.
So I looked at the caller ID and noticed that it was a call and it was from her cell phone. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. How can she call me from on the plane from a cell phone? Because cell phones don't work on the plane. That's what I'm thinking.
As only these 2 phone calls were admitted by the authorities, the debunkers have universally adopted the only 2 cell phone calls made position.
Le telefonate non sono state fatte con i cellulari, sono state fatte con gli earphone. In soli 2 casi è stato usato un cellulare, quindi quelle 2 telefonate brevissime, frammentarie, sono state fatte quando l'aereo era una quota perfettamente compatibile con la rete cellulare americana.
But one thing is the number of cell phone calls admitted to.
Why the fuck
Another
doesn't
is
that
the
guy
number
speak
of calls
English?
that were
I don't know, man.
What the hell was he saying?
I think that was like night school or something.
Some sort of
I think
gobbledygook.
I think he was doing some sort of presentation at night school somewhere. He was trying to. It's an ESL class.
Sounded like the Sims.
In the days following 9/11, the FBI interviewed the various people who had received a phone call from their relatives on the planes, and their reports tell a different story. One of the reports reads, starting at approximately 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is 9:30 New York time, Dina Burnett received a series from 3 to 5 cellular phone calls from her husband, Thomas Burnett. Burnett was able to determine her husband was using his own cellular phone because the caller ID showed his number. Only one of the calls did not show the caller ID as she was on the line with another call. According to the official documentation, Thomas Burnett made a total of 3 calls, one at 9:30, one at 9:37, and one at 9:44.
So
This
now
means
what's
that
interesting is they're going to track the altitude of the plane at these times.
at
when the calls are
least
made.
2 of these calls, if not all 3, were made from Burnett's cellular phone.
And they're only giving us
at
these
9:30,
two, you know.
the plane was flying at 32,000 feet and climbing. At 9:37, it had reached 36,000 feet and was still climbing. At 9:44, it had descended to 22,000 feet, while it accelerated until reaching a ground speed of almost 400 miles per hour. None of these calls seems to have been possible with a cell phone from that airplane. According to another report, United 93 passenger Jeremy Glick saw
said Jiminy
hijackers on the
Club.
plane, used a cell phone, and called Makeley, his stepmother, to report the hijacking. He then asked to talk to his wife, Lisbeth.
And he was on the phone and he had told me that his plane had been hijacked.
According to the FBI, Glick's wife, Lisbeth, could not hear any unusual sounds in the background of the call, and the connection was extremely clear, as if he was calling from the next room. Cell phone communication was lost at 9:55. Glick placed the call at 9:37, which means the communication lasted uninterrupted for 18 minutes while the plane was flying between 39,000 and 10.
Bum, 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 bum. The Jews did 9/11. Bum, 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 bum.
Commission report. You got some splaining to do.
1,000 feet at an average speed of almost 400 miles per hour. Only a miracle could have kept that connection open for all that time had the call truly been placed from the airplane in flight.
Very funny. 2001, A Space Odyssey. It's 2001, 9/11. You know, it's interesting.
Very interesting.
Maybe Kubrick was trying to tell us something about those people with the funny hats. But continue, Kevin.
They don't. They're not mentioning though. It was a miracle that phone call got placed, and I will describe the service of T-Mobile as a miracle.
Sure.
You know, and it's only thanks to the good Germans at Deutsche Telekom that we're able to have such beautiful service to where people are able to call their loved ones when they're being hijacked.
Sure.
And so I just want to give a shout out to Catherine Zeta-Jones from the earliest T-Mobile commercials.
The earliest of early.
Yeah.
Maybe 2004?
Yeah. And shout out to Jim Ailing, the CEO.
You worked there for so long.
Yeah.
You remember everything about them.
Yeah. He was the interim CEO, one of the best. Big Old Dick. Big Old Dick was coined at a Jim Ailing conference.
I love the T-Mobile story you have where you're working there and a guy's he comes in, he's angry, and then he shits his pants and he walks around and lets the turd shake out of his pant leg and it falls on the floor.
Richard Sheriff, dude. Motherfucker. Came in, shit his pants, shook the turd out of his fucking pant leg. While you know why he was there?
Well, let the people know. They look into the camera and tell them.
He was there to complain about what he felt was an inconsistency month to month on his bill of an amount less than 50 cents. And he was screaming. He was pissed and shitting. He got shit all over the fucking... And he's like, you see him, he's like a respectable old man.
He's not
you know,
special needs.
But you're like, Jesus Christ, smells like shit. No, he doesn't have special needs. You wouldn't think. He just seemed like a regular old guy.
You got an eye for it.
Yeah, I do.
You look in the mirror every day.
You're damn right. It takes one to know one. And man, I was the one who had to clean up the turd off the fucking floor.
What did the turd look like?
Oh, it was a little round one, just a little. It must have gotten
a little Hershey's Kiss he left behind.
Yeah. No, it was like if you take something that's not round and you roll it down a pant leg, it'll become round.
Sure, because I'm sure there's a lot of shit on his leg and his sock.
Oh, dude, this guy has to just be coated in shit. It was so bad.
It's so because I imagine him doing it like Andy Dufresne when he's getting rid of all the little rocks in the yard.
Yeah. Yes, he did it just as nonchalant, just as like shook it out. Didn't even acknowledge it.
It's so funny to get back at somebody in customer service by shitting yourself.
Yeah. Over 37 cents.
It's biological terrorism. You're turning yourself into like a squid or a skunk.
Yeah. The other time I saw a customer shit their pants was a little old lady who kept farting during the interaction. And when she went to the door, it was the first sales job I had. She was pushing on the door and it was a little heavier, and she fucking shit her pants while she was trying to push on the door to get out.
Like a Far Side cartoon.
No,
or some
literally,
shit?
like farted. Like as she was pushing, you hear the fart turn into a shit. And it's like, and we're all just like, and she just walks out like, has no clue.
You can't get arrested for shitting yourself, right?
I think
if you shit yourself at a place and you refuse to leave, like they can't call the cops, right?
Yeah, I can't get arrested in this town. I can't. I hear you.
All right, back to the show.
Back, Jeremy
Lauren
Gregg.
Grancolas possessed a cellular phone and is believed to have allowed another passenger, Honor Wainio, to use the cellular phone.
AT&T.
Wainio placed one call to her parents at 9:53 when the plane was at about 10,000 feet, traveling close to 400 miles per hour. Elsa Strong received a cell phone call from her sister, Lisa Gronlund, a passenger on United 93. Gronlund made the call to her sister at 9:46 when the plane was at 17,000 feet and traveling at almost 400 miles per hour. Marion Britton was also a passenger on United 93.
Yeah, don't say anything,
Britton's
Kevin.
live-in boyfriend received a cellular phone call from Britton
the
during the
woman's
hijacking.
long dead.
Britton told Fiumano, her boyfriend, that she had borrowed a cell phone from another passenger. Britton's call to Fiumano took place at 9:49 when United 93 was flying beyond 13,000 feet at a speed of 420 miles per hour.
Did George Lucas produce
Peter
this?
Hansen, a passenger on United 175,
Oh, by the way,
contacted his
I
mother.
wonder if let me check the chats real quick.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
good? Oh no, we're good. Okay. Yeah, so I think people are just liking the 9/11
on
stuff,
cell
though.
phone and said the flight had been hijacked. Peter's father, Lee, said that he resisted the temptation to call his son back because he didn't want to place him in more danger by having his cell phone ring on the plane. Peter Hansen called his parents twice, at 8:52 and at 9 a.m. At 8:52, the plane was at 30,000 feet and it was climbing. At 9 o'clock, it was flying at over 18,000 feet in altitude, while it accelerated towards the record-breaking speed of almost 600 miles per hour near sea level. Brian Sweeney was also a passenger on United 175. After learning of the attacks, wrote the FBI, his wife Julie Sweeney returned home to find that her husband had left a message made from his cell phone aboard the plane on their answering machine. Sweeney made the call at 8:58 in between the two Hansen calls when the plane was still at 25,000 feet in altitude. While any one of these phone calls could have momentarily been connected by a set of fortunate coincidences,
look at that.
it should be obvious that all these cell phone calls
And
as
wait
a
until we
whole
get into
could not have
CeCe
been made
Lyle's
from the
phone
cruising
call.
airplanes.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh, because we have recordings.
Given the known limitations of the
Yeah.
cellular phone system in 2001, can you provide any evidence that the cell phone calls made by the passengers reported by the FBI could have been made from the altitudes, at the speeds, and for the durations indicated for each of them? We do know, however, that the calls were made, as no
If
one
not
has ever
from the
doubted
planes,
that the relatives
from
actually
where?
received them. This opens the way to a disturbing possibility, which seems to support the in-flight swap hypothesis.
Somebody said
that the
J
passengers
Mobile.
were forced to call their relatives under duress, pretending to be on
Very
the
good.
airplane, while in fact they had already been landed in some unknown location.
Ooh.
In support of this
Whole
hypothesis,
switcheroo.
we have different elements. One is the
Todd
conversation
Beamer
passenger
call.
Todd Beamer had with a GTA airphone operator,
Here we go.
Lisa Jefferson, during the hijack of Flight 93. It is through Lisa Jefferson that the whole world learned about the famous call to action, "Let's roll."
When he told the guys, "Are you ready?" I assumed that they were waiting on his cue. Then they responded to him, and he said, "Okay, let's roll."
The 9/11 Commission has established that the hijack took place at 9:28. Todd Beamer was connected to Lisa Jefferson at 9:43, some 15 minutes into the hijacking. The FBI report confirms that Jefferson received the call from Beamer at approximately 8:45 Central Time, which is 9:45 Eastern. But the contents of the conversation are strikingly at odds with the official narrative. According to Jefferson, Beamer called to state that the plane was about to be hijacked. He stated that 3 individuals, 2 wielding knives, the third with a bomb strapped to his waist with a red belt, were preparing to take control of the flight. Jefferson estimated that she spoke to Beamer for 7 minutes before the 2 hijackers armed with knives entered the cockpit. This places the hijacking at around 9:52, while officially it took place at 9:28. This is no small discrepancy. How could Beamer
What's up,
be...
Kevin? What's going on? You just soy-faced. Steve H with the $49.99. God bless you, Steve. What Steve have to say to the people?
Great show tonight, Ben and Kevin. Thanks, brother.
God bless. God bless Steve H. What a beautiful, beautiful man. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. We're trying to deliver you the best goddamn content that's out there. Now back to the show.
describing events that are supposed to be happening in front of his eyes, when in fact they had already happened half an hour before. How could the terrorists be preparing to take control of the flight at 9:45 when they had already been in the cockpit for more than 15 minutes?
Interesting. Not adding up
The FBI
here.
also wrote that Jefferson noted that the call had an unusually low amount of background noise.
There's
The same
so many
thing Liz Glick had
inconsistencies.
noticed. Furthermore, the records show that Beamer's call lasted roughly 1 hour and that the line was left open after the crash. "We didn't lose a connection," stated Jefferson, "because there's a different sound that you use. I never lost connection. It just went silent." Jefferson stayed on the phone, stated the FBI, until she learned Flight 93 had crashed. Question: since airphones are powered by the same airplane's electrical system, how could the line have remained open for another 45 minutes
I'll tell you
after the
how.
plane had literally disintegrated to the ground in 1,000 pieces? All these
Dude,
discrepancies seem
hold on.
to...
Dude, you know, it's so funny.
On the live stream that I'm looking at right now, I'm getting ads for Kamala and Obama.
That's so funny. Folks, you missed the target audience. You absolutely missed them. Go somewhere else. Get the fuck off our channel. Dude, you know it'd be so funny if so they can't see what I'm typing in right now. Don't ruin the joke. But what if we hear a phone recording of one of the phone calls, and he goes, "Hey, baby, hey, what's up? What's going on? Are you on the? I thought you were in the air. Yeah, so we're in the air right now. I can't be too loud. I just want to say I love you and everything, and I'm gonna miss you. But the plane's been hijacked. I don't know what's going on. It's 9/11 and." Seth MacFarlane didn't get on the plane, and you just hear this in the background.
What is that noise, honey? What?
Oh, nothing. There's just they're playing this song over the speakers for some reason. They said they're funded by a very specific group of people, and I don't know. The song is somewhat recognizable. I mean,
there's a guy walking
I'm not a
around with
cultured man, so I'm not sure. But
a guy asked me to flip a light switch on because it was past dark, and I don't know, but. Hey! 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 Whoa! Dude, we got it here. We do the pinkies. Hold the pinkies. This is going to be a clip that's played as I enter the gates of hell.
35,000 feet. How are they making the calls? Cell phone tower to cell phone tower. We're talking about planes flying over 500 miles per hour. This is not possible. The Japanese tested it. The Canadians tested it. The Swedes tested it. They killed C.C. Lyles. They killed good working people. They killed American patriots. Building 7 makes no sense. None.
It doesn't.
A structural fire? Are you fucking kidding me?
From the top down. That's how fire always burns.
Folks, we're not asking the tough questions. We're asking the ultimate question. No, I'm kidding. That's
the ultimate.
We're having fun, folks.
Oh my God.
Anyway, okay, now back to the show.
Somebody said, I see you looking at chat. Tell Ben to F11 the background. Starting to think he is a weasel too.
Weasel? What's F11 mean?
I don't know.
All right.
Suggest that Beamer was not on the plane, observing real events unfolding, but was describing an imaginary, pre-scripted situation from a different location. In support of this hypothesis, we also have the dramatic message left by flight attendant C.C. Lyles in her husband's answering machine before briefly talking to him on her cell phone. As she herself is suggesting, we should listen very carefully.
Tuesday, 9:47
It's a
a.m.
frame.
Hi, baby.
Watch this.
Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that.
We too can notice the absence of the typical background noise heard inside a plane.
I don't know what to say. There's 3 guys. They've hijacked the plane. I'm trying to be calm.
After saying goodbye, she seems to fumble with the headset while she whispers a few more words into the mouthpiece.
I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye. End of message.
Even by playing the segment several times, it remains difficult to hear anything different from the words, "It's a frame." In any case, the problem with the phone calls does not change. The cell phone calls confirmed by the FBI in their reports cannot have been made from the cruising airplanes.
I will say,
someone has to...
No, go ahead.
From my understanding
Look,
of...
you got a microphone, you got people listening, go ahead.
The
buddy.
power of suggestion. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those videos of somebody playing the exact same audio with different words over the front, and you will hear whatever words are being suggested.
Mm-hmm.
But she could have been saying, "It's okay."
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
I'm just saying. But yeah. But
It's okay.
But she's definitely saying l'chaim. I can hear that very clearly at the end. That's honestly, it's a little disappointing that they didn't keep that into this documentary.
Yeah.
That they didn't put that in there. You hear. Let's hear Kevin's safe opinion. Hey.
You call it the by the way, it's called the new Pearl Harbor because at the end they actually accuse the Japanese of orchestrating the whole thing.
Do they really?
No, I'm just kidding.
They should call it the new pearl necklace.
couple of nice ropes.
Yeah, throwing rope.
You know the footage of the guy the people that are waving from the hole in the Twin Towers?
Mm-hmm.
You think someone would have used it as an opportunity to just like show their ass or something?
Yeah. I mean,
you want to go out remembered for something, you know?
Yeah.
Like the falling man struck that beautiful pose on the way down.
I heard one of the calls, you can hear the guy say, "Man, I gots to get some pussy." He says it. You can hear him. He goes, "Baby, I love you." And he thinks he hung up.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, "Man, if we going down, I gots to get me some pussy."
This is so funny. Yeah, he's like, "Man, I'm stressed." He goes to the liquor store and gets like scratchers and a pizza. It's like, "Man, this 9/11 got me fucked up today." Here we go.
Explain where they came from. Was never released. All the debunkers have to show for Flight 77
Remember
is a
that
small
bit we did about how brothers can never do 9/11? We're like, shit, brothers can never do 9/11 because they're like, "Yo, can I stop over in Illinois, see my cousin?"
That's Bruce. Bruce used to do this thing at Bruce Gray, hilarious comic.
Well, I remember we gave him permission to do it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but we all were riffing it, and Bruce was like, "Can I do that on stage?"
And he presented it. Hey, somebody.
Brothers would do that shit on 9/12.
Yeah,
Your brother couldn't do 9/11. You'd be late.
Yeah, but if brother be doing 9/11, be showing up on 9/12 and shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I stop off in New Orleans, pick up my cousin? He presented it as if he's like, I found somebody's jokes in the trash bin here. Somebody just throwing them away, and then he did that one. Yeah, what was the other one? Goddamn, there was a good one. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
it was good shit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Piece of wreckage carrying an American Airlines serial number. But this piece could have been placed by anyone onto the grass after the impact. In fact, unidentified men in suits were seen meddling with the debris right after the impact in direct violation of the rules of a crime scene. A contractor who was a black coat. His accounts are
why is it black here?
Smaller plane, 10 to 15.
Strange.
The windows
I'll go forward and then back.
But it's presumable that if anyone airline
a white jet, like a Gulfstream type.
Just a mistake in the upload, I guess.
Jet, I guess.
Omar, you say this was a smaller plane, 10 to 15 passengers, maybe?
No es muy grande. No es muy grande. It's not like too big. It's just.
Tú sabes los aviones comerciales.
It's like business.
Like a business jet.
It looked like a
this leads us right into the Pentagon.
Come down from the south, real low.
The Pentagon stuff is that'll be the cherry on top of this whole thing.
We sometimes describe and recognize as a small commuter plane.
Yes, it was.
By the witnesses' accounts alone, it's impossible to establish what kind of airplane it was. As the plane clipped 5 light poles before striking the Pentagon, the debunkers maintain that the distance between the light poles indicates a corridor wide enough that only a large airliner could have created it.
Ce qu'on peut voir justement, c'est que l'avion en arrivant a tombé 5 pylônes qui étaient sur sa trajectoire, et ces pylônes étaient espacés de 25 mètres.
Troviamo alcuni lampioni abbattuti, 5 lampioni. tutti insieme fanno una fascia larga 26 metri. Facciamo finta di ipotizzare che non sappiamo che si tratti di un aereo. Sappiamo che c'è qualche cosa largo 26 metri che è passato di lì.
26 meters is roughly 85 feet, but the wingspan of a 757 is 124 feet, which means any airplane with an 85-foot wingspan could have downed those light poles. It didn't need to be a 757.
Okay.
In fact, with a 100-ton airliner hitting a reinforced concrete building like the Pentagon, one would expect to
I
find
think, by the way,
situation-
in that area with the plane hitting the Pentagon, we've never got footage of it. They released 5 frames, which you'll see. But I think they confiscated up to like 85 videotapes that supposedly caught from gas stations and security cameras and this and that, and none of them have been released. But we'll get into that.
You know what? It could have prevented this whole thing. They should have just made the whole plane out of the black box.
I've never heard that before, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's do you mind if I do that on stage?
No, I don't mind at all.
What immediately
I hope
stood
you do.
out instead was the absence of large, identifiable pieces of debris which are usually found after the crash of an airliner. Bob Pugh was the first professional cinematographer to arrive on site.
No one was in control of the area. I had free reign. And there's a lot of debris in the foreground of those videos. Again, it's very small pieces. I mean, I'm standing on pieces, a dinner plate or smaller in size. All the while, I'm looking for wreckage, and I can't find a piece of anything that I recognize. I can't see the tail. I can't see the wheels. I can't see the engines. There's no chairs. There's no luggage.
According to the debunkers, there are no large pieces of debris on the lawn because most of the airplane ended up inside the building.
Quindi gran parte dei frammenti dell'aereo non sono fuori perché l'aereo è entrato nell'edificio.
Purdue University has produced a detailed computer animation illustrating the official version of the event.
We had the plans for the Pentagon, all the details.
I hate, when it comes to like commission reports and stuff, I always hate to see the word official.
Oh yeah,
The word official should just be a big fat lie. That's all it should say.
Somebody says they want to take a moment to appreciate that Ben leaves home without a phone charger and a battery bank in a post 9/11 world. That is pretty wild that you're...
Think about that.
Yeah, I mean...
If I was up in the air, I wouldn't be able to call my wife.
No.
Much less order a couple pizzas if the phone was getting... if the plane was getting hijacked.
Dude, if I was going down, I call my bros. You know what I mean? See what the boys are up to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, what are you guys gaming? You guys going to be on in a sec? I'm going down in a plane right now. There's a bunch of guys with for some reason the hems of their garments aren't sewn up, and they have really curly sideburns. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm bad for your soul, Kev. I think.
I mean, I think it's good, you know, because like you said, one of the big values of being a good comedian is not caring. And
well, maybe, I don't know. It seems like Jerry Seinfeld cares a whole lot, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah, but money doesn't make a lot. You know, there's some comics out there. I don't know if you've heard about these guys. There's some guys out there with podcasts and stuff that make hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, and it doesn't really mean they're great guys. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of any of that stuff.
Let's cut back to the show here.
Right down to the last reinforcing bar. The speed of the airplane.
It's very funny that you're drinking an energy drink called C4 while we're learning about 9/11.
I was literally feeling like
the official
funky
version,
after
the
the
plane
first one. I'm like,
approached on a low
another.
trajectory, clipping 5 light poles from the nearby intersection. Slightly tilted to the left, it hit a trailer parked outside the building with the bottom of the right wing.
People barely
and
know
then
anything
impacted
about the
facade
Pentagon.
at an angle of 42 degrees.
Here we go.
Most of the plane penetrated the facade and proceeded inside the building
Penetrated.
on a diagonal course, causing destruction
No,
as
this
it was being
should
destroyed.
be taught in sex
The
ed.
fuselage pierced through the outer
You should
wall
learn
of the
about
C
peepees
ring,
and wee-wees and then
producing
who did
this round-shaped
9/11
exit
in
hole
5th
10
grade.
to 12 feet wide.
It's my personal belief.
There are, however, many problems with this version of the events. The first one is the actual wingspan of a Boeing 757. Most of us remember the facade of the Pentagon after it had collapsed. But before it collapsed,
Sorry, Bucky.
right after the impact, this is what the building looked like. This series of pictures was taken by a Navy photographer shortly after the impact. there doesn't seem to be enough damage for a Boeing 757 to have penetrated the building almost in full. Using the best part from each image, a digital expert has created this composite picture, which has become the universal tool of reference for anyone involved in the debate. The composite picture shows an almost continuous opening at ground level, about 90 feet wide. The damage extends to the second floor, with an entry hole about 15 feet wide.
Dang, remind me of my ex-wife.
This is enough to maintain the debunkers, to have accommodated most of the plane inside the building.
Effectivement, on peut se demander où est-il passé. Et puis, si on prend des photos qui ont été prises à des instants différents et qui justement, par un assemblage, ont permis de montrer les dégâts qui étaient réellement visibles sur la façade, et là on voit clairement que tout le rez-de-chaussée a été anéanti sur une longueur de 30 mètres, et puis au milieu, bien sûr, vous avez le trou de la carlingue.
That gash in the E-ring was about 90 feet across. The
guy's got a
wingspan
great
of the
voice.
plane was about 124 and change.
Is this
That
guy
punched the hole
seriously?
into the
Can you
building.
rewind it just a little bit?
Yeah.
Is this guy? I feel like this guy is talking about my ex-wife.
In
I'm
the
not
E-ring
kidding.
was about 90.
Puis au milieu, bien sûr, vous avez le trou de la carlingue.
Her E-ring?
That gash in the E-ring was about 90 feet across. The wingspan of the plane
He's
was
just
about
fucked your wife.
124
Yeah,
and
that
change.
gash
That
in the
punched the hole
E-ring was
into the
about 90
building.
feet across.
It is true. The wingspan of a 757 is 124 feet. But the debunkers forget that the plane came in at a 42-degree angle, which makes the projected wingspan on the facade 160 feet wide. That's almost twice the 90-foot existing gash. As shown in this animation, the left wing should have also destroyed these two windows to the left of the opening. But the whole segment to the left of the opening doesn't seem to have been hit by a wing traveling at 500 miles per hour. The window's wooden frames are still in place, and the glass seems to have been broken from the ensuing explosion, not from the impact itself. The limestone covering the facade has fallen off, but the bricks underneath appear practically untouched. By the same projected angle, the right wing should have impacted the facade all the way to this column on the second floor.
Well, that would have been
In
where it
fact,
struck
there
first.
is a diagonal cut on the second floor
Yeah.
wall that could have resulted from the wing's impact. But this puts most of the wing above the second floor slab, which means it never penetrated the facade to begin with. So where did it go? This is the explanation by Popular Mechanics for what happened to the wings.
The wings did not fully penetrate the facade. In fact, the wings had already been partially sheared off by the time the plane even hit the building.
The fuselage mainly made the hole that existed. Conspiracy theorists want to know why it wasn't the width of the full wingspan of the plane, and actually just the simple reason was that the wings came off.
But where did they go? Popular Mechanics doesn't say. A similar problem is posed by the horizontal stabilizers, which extend some 50 feet in width. As they are mounted 3 feet higher than the wings, they should have impacted the facade approximately here and here. But there are no visible marks from their impact on the facade, nor is any recognizable piece of the stabilizers visible on the lawn. Same story for the tail, which raises 24 feet above the fuselage. At the time of impact, the tail should have hit as high as the windows on the 4th floor. The Purdue animation shows the tail entering the building in full, as if it were cutting through butter. But the facade above the entry hole doesn't show any significant damage, and the glass from the windows around the hole isn't even broken. For the missing tail and stabilizers, Popular Mechanics offers this generic explanation.
A plane flying 500 miles an hour, hitting a concrete wall that is extremely reinforced. There's not going to be much left of it. You're not going to see it sitting on the lawn of the Pentagon in 1 or 2
This is
or
an
3
ad
pieces.
starts playing on your
Here's
phone
the
for
problem.
Lululemon. That's
If part
what
of the
we're learning
wings,
about.
the stabilizers, and the tail disintegrated
my
in 1,000 pieces
non-premium
against the
YouTube
facade.
account.
How could the fuselage penetrate it almost entirely? The fuselage is by far the weakest part of the plane, as it basically consists of an empty cylinder meant to carry the passengers and their belongings. How fragile the fuselage is compared to the wings is explained by aviation expert Jacques Roland.
Jacques Roland, ancien général de l'armée de l'air, est aujourd'hui le meilleur expert en crash aérien auprès des tribunaux.
Il n'est pas du tout évident de comprendre qu'effectivement, dès que vous avez un choc à l'avant, l'ensemble s'enfonce à la vitesse de pénétration en fait. Et le premier point dur se trouve ici. Tant que vous n'arrivez pas là, l'avion, c'est du papier.
Question. How could the fuselage, which is the weakest part of the plane, penetrate the facade almost entirely, while part of the wings, the stabilizers, and the tail, which are relatively stronger, were unable to do so and were shattered in 1,000 pieces instead? Even more mysterious is the
the
disappearance
engines.
of the
Yes,
engines.
sir.
The 757
I knew the engines
that
were
allegedly
coming.
hit the Pentagon was equipped with two
It's damning.
RB-211 engines built by Rolls-Royce. Almost 8 feet in height,
Rolls-Royce.
weighing over
They
7,000
were-
pounds each. The internal core of the
There you
engine is
go.
made
That's
with
an engine
components
right there.
so sturdy and resistant that they are considered practically indestructible.
It has to rotate at about 10,000 revolutions per minute, the blade speed of about 800 miles per hour. The component itself operates at something like 300 degrees above the melting point of the alloy.
To operate at around 1700 degrees, they're designed not to melt.
Quali sono le parti che non vengono distrutte, che non si squagliano per il calore?
Pezzi del carrello e il cuore dei due motori, che è molto più compatto dalla parte esterna dei motori, ovviamente fatto in materiali che devono resistere alla temperatura, 2000-2500 gradi, per cui la parte centrale dei due motori è sicuramente sopravvissuta all'impatto.
But where are they? In their animation, Purdue University has chosen to ignore the issue. As one can see, moments before the impact, the two engines simply vanish into thin air.
See that?
Debunker Paolo Attivissimo
See
has
that?
made what he calls a cautious suggestion.
Questo è un motore Rolls-Royce RB211, questo è un oggetto trovato davanti al Pentagono. Quando dicevo prima, probabilmente i motori non sono completamente entrati, questo oggetto è di forma compatibile.
I mean, you got to turn to foreign intelligence here to understand
But this
anything.
rotor could have come from any engine. There is also another picture of a similar disc, or possibly the same disc, from a different angle. And then there is this part of an engine found inside the Pentagon. But we are not looking for scraps. We are looking for 2 3-ton pieces of machinery made with steel and titanium that after an accident should look something like this.
Yeah.
Or like this.
Yeah.
Or like this.
From Donnie Darko.
In fact, had the Pentagon been hit by a 757, the two engines would
Donnie
have
Darko,
impacted
that's what
the
I call
facade
Trump.
around these 2 points, just below the wings. This means they would have
That's my
proceeded
nickname for
inside
Trump,
the building
ladies
on a
and
path
gentlemen.
somewhat parallel to the fuselage.
A man
carving
who's
a trail
as
of
mentally unwell as Donnie Darko.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
destruction much more devastating than
Double
any
chunk
other part
chocolate
of the
chip,
plane.
baby.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Sì, sicuramente sì.
Può essere tranquillamente un proiettile. Lanciato quello a 800 km all'ora, la struttura viaggia e non si ferma al minimo ostacolo.
But there are
Well,
no
what's going
engines
on?
visible
No, if you-
outside the
just
exit
if you
hole,
wanna have it.
nor are there any other holes in the wall that could have been caused by an engine. Question. Can you explain what happened to the core of the two engines, which is built with components so strong and resistant to be considered practically indestructible? Now for the biggest mystery of all, the exit hole. According to the official version, it was the fuselage
Look
of
at
the
this.
plane that created this hole
Look
in
at
the
this.
wall of the C-ring.
Unbelievable.
On September 15, 2001, the Pentagon renovation manager stated, the plane penetrated through the E-ring, D-ring, C-ring. The nose of the plane just barely broke through the inside of the C-ring, so it was extending into AE drive a little bit. The AE drive is the internal alley separating the C-ring from the B-ring. But how could the fuselage have made it all the way through the wall of the C-ring?
Un aereo che pesa 120 tonnellate, lanciato a 800 km/h, impatta una facciata, la trapassa. Nel trapassarla viene tritato dalle colonne che ci sono in mezzo, a mo' di grattugia, se volete, passate questo termine, e alla fine quel che rimane sono solo frammenti molto piccoli. Quel poco che rimane in fondo arriva dall'altra parte.
If the fuselage is only a cylinder and it gets cut and ground by the columns in 1,000 pieces, how can it retain the circular shape needed to punch this almost perfectly round hole in the wall? This is where the explanations by the debunkers
Looks
become
like where Bilbo
absolutely
Baggins
fascinating.
lives.
The mass of the
It looks like a fabrication of Hollywood.
Enormous.
Looks like
energy
some Peter
and
Jackson
continued
car.
into the building. And
Some
it
guy
stayed
didn't even
almost
think
more
about
like
it.
a
Like, that's the
liquid
front of
than
the
a
plane.
solid.
You gotta poke
Then
through.
they
So
colored
like,
reinforced concrete columns 2 feet thick, so the aircraft was flying through a forest of columns.
The plane became almost like an artillery shell or a tank round. What actually came out, it was a circular ball of fire, which is how fire goes when it moves. That's why it has a perfectly round shape.
By this time, there was an avalanche of debris
Ball of
that was
fire.
moving as a single mass, much as in an avalanche of snow.
Whether it was a liquid mass,
Did the
a
plane
ball
go
of
out
fire,
through the
or
other
an
side of the
avalanche
Twin
snow,
Towers?
all these hypotheses are flatly
Did it fly
contradicted
right
by
through
the
that
Pentagon
motherfucker or
Building
no?
Performance Report.
It looks
a
like it just
document
disappears
published in
into it.
2003
That's what I
by
thought
the
too.
American
But the
Society
Pentagon,
of
you know, it
Civil
made it all the way to the
Engineers.
other side.
In assessing the
Interesting.
condition of the columns on the first floor, the report reads, Columns 3G,
Got another
3H,
Kamala Harris
3J,
ad.
and 5J were damaged but still standing, although in the direct path of the fuselage. It is highly unlikely that any significant portion of the fuselage could have retained structural integrity at this point in its travel. The aircraft frame most certainly was destroyed before it had traveled a distance that approximately equaled the length of the aircraft. The length of the aircraft is 155 feet, which is roughly half the distance between the entry and the exit holes. That no substantial part of the fuselage reached the wall of the C-ring was also confirmed by the first eyewitnesses who described the damage inside the Pentagon.
So the plane went in to the E, D, and to the C-ring. Not all the way through the C-ring.
We're coming up now
Furthermore,
to
if we follow the lines connecting the
we're gonna
exit
have to
hole
get to
to
see the plane
impact zone
finally.
at
They
the
released a
angle
couple
of 42
frames.
degrees,
Hell yeah.
we see that the path is repeatedly blocked at some point or another by columns that are damaged.
It's like getting
but
the next
still
Marvel
standing.
movie, you know?
This means that no substantial piece of debris could have traveled from the impact zone
this is all
to the
green
exit
screen.
hole in any case.
The Pentagon's not even real.
Question. Given that, according to the Pentagon Building Performance
I wonder if we're
Report,
ever gonna get the truth
aircraft
from the
frame
government.
most certainly was destroyed before it had traveled a
takes a
distance
while,
that
man.
approximately equaled the length of the aircraft,
Gotta
and
wait for a
that
lot
it
of
is
people to
highly
die.
unlikely that any significant portion of the fuselage
Double
could have
jump
retained
chocolate
structural
cookie.
integrity from that point on. Can you explain what caused the almost perfectly round exit hole in the outer wall of the C-ring? In conclusion, we have an opening on the first floor that's a bit more than half the projected wingspan of a 757, the tip of the left wing and most of the right wing missing without a valid explanation, the horizontal stabilizers and the tail also missing without a valid explanation, a fuselage that behaved more like a warhead than an empty cylinder made with aluminum,
Bing, bing,
no
bing, bing,
trace
bing, bing,
whatsoever
bing.
of the core of the two engines, and an exit hole on the C-ring that no one can rationally explain. Given all these facts, we must conclude that the damage observed at the Pentagon is not compatible with and must have been created by something other than a Boeing 757.
I mean, it literally looks like a hobbit hole.
The mystery of what hit...
A Hasidic man is never late nor early. He does 9/11 precisely when he means to.
The Pentagon could have been easily solved if the FBI had released the...
Gandalfberg! The Lord of the Weather.
the videos from dozens of surveillance cameras that are placed all around the impact zone.
Yeah, there were a lot of cameras around the Pentagon. If you look at the Pentagon, you can see that there's cameras on each corner.
Here we go.
There's cameras at some of the businesses around.
Now, I really, guys, we're going in for the kill shot here. This part blows my fucking mind. I can't stress this enough. Just sit back, watch, and learn a thing or two about how you're getting fucked.
The Pentagon, and we know in those cases the tapes were confiscated immediately by the FBI within hours of the event.
When a Freedom of Information Act requesting all the videos covering the impact zone was filed, the FBI agent in charge of the tapes responded, "The FBI possessed 85 videotapes."
Did I not say 85 earlier? Folks, sometimes I know a thing or two of what I'm talking about.
Tapes that might be potentially responsive to plaintiff's FOIA request. But, concluded the agent, I determined...
But Kevin, they're not going to release them because they're protecting our national security. You have to understand. They seek to protect us.
Oh, they can't.
That's why they can't release the tapes.
Public can't handle it. They got to
Not
protect
only
us. It's just like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We got
on videotape
little babies.
Easter Bunny
showed the impact of Flight 77 into the Pentagon
Jeffrey
on
Epstein?
September 11,
That's right.
2001. This is the tape we have all seen many, many times. The FBI could have released all the videos anyway, just to allow the public to see by themselves what was actually shown in each of them. But for some reason, they preferred to keep them under wraps. Not only has this question never been answered, but an in-depth analysis of the only footage of the impact ever released contains a dramatic surprise. Initially, the DoD released these 5 frames taken from a Pentagon parking security camera.
There you go. There, it was
Later
a plane.
on, in
It
2006,
happened.
the DoD released the entire
Yep,
sequence
that's the
from
best
which the
video
5
they got of
frames have been
the
extracted.
plane. There it is.
The time-lapse sequence runs at approximately 1 frame per second, and it shows the moments leading up to the impact, the large explosion, and the billowing fire that ensued.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, the video does not show the airplane in transit. All we can see in the frame preceding the explosion is what appears to be the tail of an airplane followed by a trail of white smoke. But the body of the plane remains covered by this concrete column standing in the foreground. The Department of Defense also released a second video taken by a different camera from the same parking lot. The second camera was actually located in the very column that obscured the view of the plane in the first video.
Why not just release
this aerial shot of the Pentagon shows the actual location of the two cameras. The second camera faces in the same direction as the first, and it offers a clear, unobstructed view of the same field of action. By using the moment of the explosion, we can synchronize the two cameras with absolute frame-by-frame accuracy. By synchronizing the two cameras, we notice that the second video begins earlier than the first, while the first lasts longer than the second. This leaves us with a middle comment section of about 100 frames, which are perfectly synchronized with each other. From the moment the police car moves on, the action proceeds in an identical manner both in the frames preceding the explosion and in those following the explosion. Especially in the second part of the videos, after the explosion, we can verify how each couple of frames depicts exactly the same action by looking at the shape of the billowing smoke. This confirms that the two cameras were operating in perfect synchronization. This is only to be expected. After all, the two cameras were controlled by a centralized recording system called multiplexer, or TLR. There is, however, one pair of frames from the two videos that shows a completely different action from one another. They happen to be the two frames in which the plane travels across the lawn.
Here we
It's
go.
frame 23 in the relative count.
Kevin, here we go.
As the first
The
video
Dark Knight, ladies and gentlemen,
showed the tail and the trail of smoke, we would expect the second camera placed in this concrete column to show the entire body of the plane in the same position. It does not. In the corresponding frame, camera 2 shows only the tip of the plane entering frame from the right-hand corner. But how can the nose of the plane be behind the tail at the same moment in time? The synchronization system allows for a maximum fluctuation between the two cameras, or margin of error, of 1/30th of a second. Given that the plane is traveling at 750 feet per second, the maximum possible
This doc
fluctuation
doesn't
between
fuck
the two
around,
cameras
man. They do
will
the
translate
homework.
into a difference of a mere 25 feet in the position of the plane. A 757 is 155 feet long. Even calculating the perspective due to the diagonal path, this is far from sufficient to explain the large discrepancy between the two images. Furthermore, after this moment, the two videos resume their perfect synchronization, which is maintained all the way to the end.
something was scrubbed.
Why these two crucial frames, and only these two,
Look
are
at that
so different
lens
from one
flare,
another
too.
has puzzled researchers and digital experts alike. The same digital expert who had prepared the universal image from the Pentagon has also conducted an in-depth technical analysis of the two videos released by the Department of Defense. After confirming that the two cameras were synchronized by the same multiplexer system, this expert has compiled a table comparing the contents of each pair of frames. As one can see, frame 23 is the only one showing a strong inconsistency between the two images. The expert has then proceeded to analyze the two frames with the most sophisticated digital tools and has obtained some astonishing results. A series of Boolean subtractions reveals that a small part of the image is actually present in both frames.
Interesting.
What is said to be the nose of the airplane in camera 2 is also present as part of the smoke trail in camera 1. It seems in fact as if someone has retouched this area of the frame by means of cut and paste in order to cover the plane,
sir.
while he has kept the end of the smoke trail to make it look like the nose of the plane entering frame.
Yes, sir.
Question. Given that the maximum fluctuation between the two cameras would translate in a difference of 25 feet in the position of the plane, can you provide a valid explanation for the large discrepancy between the two corresponding frames? Absent a valid explanation for this discrepancy, we must conclude that at least one of the two frames is the
Space, it's
result
great
of
to see me.
intentional manipulation or photoshopping.
Wait, what's going on?
Space Rain says great to see Kevin as a returning guest.
Oh, very
He's
good.
such a joy.
Oh, wow.
And I can't agree more.
The reviews are pouring in.
If we now summarize the situation at the Pentagon, we have the total lack of evidence that the unknown incoming was in fact Flight 77, a mysterious phantom plane that attracted the attention in the opposite direction. The failure from the White House to shoot down the incoming, even though it posed a serious and imminent threat. A totally illogical approach maneuver from a terrorist's point of view. An alleged hijacker incapable of performing that maneuver. The absence of any significant part
That
of the
guy
plan.
seems incapable of running a 7-Eleven. Much less, I wouldn't trust that guy to sell me an illegal vape, but apparently he can,
From the wreckage.
Oh, I would.
A
If he still
damage
got
to
the
the
good
building
flavor.
clearly incompatible with a 757. A doctored tape of the impact, and the obvious reluctance by the FBI to release any other tape that could allow the identification of the plane. The whole issue of flight...
I mean, this is...
that's wild.
Kevin, let the... we got to go get a steak. I need to get a steak and some broccoli. I know I said we were going to do 5 hours here, but we've done 4. I just... my leg keeps cramping up. I need some water. I need some
bitch juice.
I should have ate more, but it is what it is. I'm running on 5 hours of sleep. I was on morning duty with the teething child, and everything's good over here. We're feeling good. This is a great stream. I'm cutting it short 1 hour. I wanted to do 5. My phone died. I couldn't order DoorDash.
I mean,
so it is what it is.
You're literally starving to death. You're wasting away, and I do think we should.
I had 2 eggs, and avocado, and
is there any way
5 pizzas?
Could we use my
That's all
phone
I've
to
had.
order something? Because I mean, to have the stream go until 9/11.
Well, the only problem is we have to record the Patreon for Lemon Party because we didn't do it on Sunday.
Oh.
We didn't do it on Sunday. Jace had to leave after because he was tired. We have to record we're doing a big Patreon about Nikocado Avocado at around 9:30 is when they were meeting. So I figured we'd get some food, and but we still did a big 4-hour one.
Yeah, the Nikocado Avocado story is like it's like the 9/11 of our time, of this generation.
I mean, I'm waiting to see the tapes.
You think he's gonna get fat again?
I mean, don't they say you can only reinvent yourself twice?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think he's done. I think he's set in stone.
Huh.
His story will be a cautionary tale. Jokes on us. We judged a man for becoming 400 pounds and rolling around on the floor like a big pig.
Yeah.
And actually, the joke's on us. Apparently, the joke's on us.
Yes.
And he tricked us. And we were too judgmental about a man who chronically wore a CPAP machine and ate Doritos off of the floor for 7 years and posted pictures of his asshole and his balls and did all kinds of crazy shit.
Great guy, an artist, true artist.
Let the people know where they can find you. What's your home address?
6969 420 Dick Street, Cock and Balls Avenue. Come on my feet, Lane. Check out Kevin Tenken. Just look up Kevin Tenken, Tienken. Please go check out the Apocalypse Soon podcast with me and Eddie. Hopefully I will have another podcast
here you are, right here
as well. Yeah. Go. Oh yeah.
Shit. Hold on.
I am so bad at posting on Twitter. It's not a great space, but I mean, look at that face. I mean, that's back in when I was working as a salesman.
Beautiful.
I know. Yeah.
The man has clips.
That's
and
me with my long hair on.
Is this you also on IG?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just block you real quick. Anything else to plug, Kev? You got any shows coming up or anything like that?
My ass. That's it. Just plug my ass.
He's doing 45 minutes in his own ass, folks. Tickets are free.
Let me see here. I do have one thing. We can't do any sort of editing, but I mean.
Well, I think you and Eddie might do a show down in
at La Cave.
Costa Mesa.
In Costa Mesa.
At the end of the month.
La Cave, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Late September. If you guys do want to see me live, all you have to do is follow my Instagram. I post all my dates on there. So yeah, come out and check me out. And it's it's great to get gay with Ben, and it's nice to have you back in my ass.
This is how we close the show.
It's
La la dee da be da ba. What's up? Da be da. Oh shit, Steve H. Coming in with the Hail Mary. Steve H with the 99.99. God bless you.
Holy smokes.
God bless you.
Steaks on Steve.
God bless all of you. Oh my God. Man, Steve H kicks fucking ass.
Yeah.
Oh, and Steve H also, we missed. He gave 50 and said, great show tonight, Ben and Kevin. Or did we get that already?
We did get that one, yeah.
Holy shit. Steve H, man.
Wow.
How about
Thanks,
that?
Steve. Amazing. Very kind.
The great Steve Hofstetter loves the show. Do you think it is Steve Hofstetter?
That would be sick if it was.
The original, the OG crowd work comedian, Steve Hofstetter.
Yeah. The original clip guy.
I feel like now that Steve gave 100, we got to give the people one more thing.
Absolutely. What should it be?
I think we have to fuck on camera now.
Dude, should we watch the you want to talk some shit?
Oh, you know, actually, can I wait, what's that?
The 1-800 from what's his name, where he does like a phone sex line, but it's to call and talk to brothers and
oh shit! Oh, the no, we've watched that before. We've watched that before.
Gangsta Party Line.
Let me show you something to close the stream that Kevin, you're going to love this. Have you seen this?
It's from Postal again. That's great.
But you can make the light. Hey. You can make the light.
The music.
Come on, bitch. God,
This is
damn,
we've
you
watched
should've
it
made
like
the fucking
3
light,
times
man.
now,
She
but it's
forgot
amazing.
glass. You say glass? Yes. You say glass, you Frankfurt eating motherfucker. I bought all these goddamn English CDs for you to say fucking glass. It's glasses. You fucking foreigners come over here and you fuck up the language, and this bitch is fucking up the traffic.
Calm down, Glenn.
You fucking calm down. This flat ass bitch comes over here, she takes over the convenience stores, and they eat up all our goddamn dogs.
Go in the house. Come on. Jesus.
You're right. I'm tripping. Just get out the car and make sure she's doing okay. She's an old lady. Ugh. I feel bad now.
Hear the Chinese music
The light
play?
is green. The light is green. What the light? What you say,
Man, what happened over there?
They should call me nigger.
I told you, Kevin. I told you you were gonna like it.
Oh, great
That's
stuff.
pretty good. Let me make sure we didn't miss any other super chats. JB with the 10, Australian 10. Shout out from Australia. God bless everybody. Says, love you, Ben. Happy 9/11. Thank you, Steve H. Thank you to everybody. I love doing these streams, dude. It's so exciting to go live. I always loved Rogan back in the day when he was live. I loved it back with the early apps, you know. He was so good then.
Well, I mean, he was the only one doing it, and it was so raw and just impromptu.
But God bless everybody. I'm gonna keep doing these streams. I'm glad that we're all having fun. We're having a good time doing it. What are people saying?
Katie's in the chat.
Oh, she's saying my phone's dead?
No. She's just saying it's half her birthday. It's her half birthday.
Oh yeah, it is my wife's half birthday. It is my wife's half birthday. That's how I never miss her birthday. I always remember.
Yeah.
Because I go, oh shit. Because I always wake up and I go, hell yeah. It's the 6 month. It's the half anniversary of. I go, it's the anniversary of 9/11 is what I think first, and then I set a timer for 6 months later because it's her birthday.
That's why you love it so much. That's why you never want to forget.
And you know what's funny? My birthday is half of Christmas. It's a 6 month. I was born on June 25th, and so 6 months later is Christmas. It's the perfect.
Oh wow.
Polar opposite for getting presents on this.
Yeah.
Earth tilts over here, get the presents here. Earth tilts over here, get the presents there.
Yeah, you're like Bizarro Jesus.
I am.
Or the Antichrist.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm
more of a pro-Christ kind of guy.
You want to get a big steak?
Fuck yeah, dude.
You love big things, don't you?
I love big pieces of meat in my mouth. I like to chew on them. I like to put some sauce on them too, and then
you do love sauce.
Slobber it on.
I've seen you the way you move around a bottle of sauce is to be envied.
I get sauced up.
You're always into hot sauce, mayonnaises. You got the whole works.
I bathe in mayonnaise every day, as every white man does.
That's right.
God,
fucking white people.
White.
Well,
Bitch.
that was a stream for the record books. I don't care who you are. That was a fun one. That was quite
great.
a doozy.
I'm glad I came.
Me too, buddy.
I came
All
twice.
Right. I love you, Kev. Let's end this thing,
Love you too,
and let's go have a nice little dinner before I do the Patreon app with the boys. God bless you all.
Bye, boys.
See you guys on Friday. Peace out.